Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera and good morning everybody. Kepada ahli panel yang saya hormati, kepada pelajar yang saya sayangi dan juga pada guru yang saya hormati sekalian. Thank you so much for joining us for webinar SPM 2021 Siri 2 untuk Bahasa Inggeris. Sebelum saya mulakan, saya perkenalkan diri saya sendiri. Saya Miss Nurul Huda Omar from JPN Terengganu, dan saya akan perkenalkan barisan panel-panel kita yang gagah-gagah belaka. Sebelum itu, izinkan saya bercakap demi bahasa sebab kita nak bagi peluang untuk pelajar-pelajar kita untuk faham webinar kita untuk hari ini. Mula-mula saya nak perkenalkan teacher manis kita, Teacher Saliza daripada Agama Skill. Apa khabar Teacher Saliza?
Alright, hi everyone. I am teacher. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much, Ms. Nurul. I'm good. And good morning.
Good morning. So, teacher, Madam Saliza, what are you going to discuss about? Just a brief description of what you're going to talk about today.
Only my part or everyone's part as well?
Only your part.
Okay, so for my part, I will touch on open essay, which is part 2 in writing.
Okay. Okay, so next would be Teacher Nur Atika from SMK Tengku Ibrahim, also from STU. Hello there, Teacher Ika, how are you?
Hello, hi there. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. I'm sorry, it's Miss Ika, right? So what are you going to talk about today?
Today I'm going to share with you part 3 essays, particularly on article. So we're going to discuss about that, inshallah.
All right then, inshallah. So next would be Miss Nurul Nakia of SMK Tengku Bariah. It rhymes, by the way. Hello, how are you over there in Kuala Terengganu?
Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you, Ms. Chairperson, Ms. Nurul from JPNT. And hi everyone, students and teachers. Inshallah today with me and the other panels, we are going to talk about, for my part, it will be reports. So stay tuned and see you guys in the next session.
All right, thank you, Miss Nurul Nakia. Okay, next would be our teacher ataupun Miss Wan Yusnita from Sester. How's our sister from Sester? Are you okay?
Yeah, okay. Alhamdulillah. Hello, Nurul.
Hi. So what are you going to talk about today?
My focus is part 3, question story.
All right. So, and overall, all this panel, we have our, you can say, head teacher, our stage manager, Puan Mahiran, Madam Mahiran. Say a few words, Madam Mahiran, before we begin to our first lot.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nurul. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning, everyone. I'll mostly be backstage. Okay, I'll chip in when I'm needed. All right. Okay, that's all from me.
All right, wonderful. So, without further ado, the first part of today's segment would be from Teacher Saliza. We call her, you know, our let's say pet name or nama manja for her is Eja, Teacher Eja or Madam Eja. So, Madam Eja, care to share your slide with us? By the way, we're waiting for your slide.
Okay, I will. All right, I will. Thank you so much, Ms. Nurul, for the introduction. Okay, I'll share my slides, yeah?
So while waiting, considering I believe the line in STU is a bit slow, the purpose of we are gathering here today is to speak about the scripts, or if the students, how you answer paper 2 for writing. So the teachers here would discuss about, what is acceptable or how the teachers mark each essay. And Teacher Saliza, how's
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So, can you see now?
Yeah, we can see it.
Can you see my slide? All
Yes,
right. So shall I start?
Yes, you can,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you again, Miss Nurul. All right, good morning, everyone, students and teachers. My part today, I will touch on part 2, which is open essay. And for your information, we will also show you some samples of writing, which is taken from your MPP2. Actually, the one that you have answered, ya, baru ni kan. Jadi, bagi yang menonton, the students, most probably your essay will be, will be discussed today. Kan? Jadi, yang tengok tu nanti boleh tengok lah essay dia ada tak kat dalam ni kan. Alright, so I move on. Okay, things to be discussed. Today's discussion, I will touch on the things that you need to know, which mean apa yang you perlu tahu tentang essay part 2. And also I show you the question, soalan yang kamu jawab baru-baru ni, which is on online classes or online learning kan, masa MPP 2. Kemudian we have sample essays. I'll show like 3 sample essays. And then setiap kali teacher tunjuk essay tu, at the end I will give you or I show you the marks that the student should get. And at the end I will wrap up by telling you how to improve your part 2 essay. Okay, moving on. Okay, when we write essay or for part 2, you must remember that it is only 125 to 150 words. Betul tak? Which is not that much kan. Jadi nasihat teacher tu jangan spend too much time ya untuk this one. Dan selain daripada tu, kita kenal juga part 2 sebagai guided writing. Sebab apa? They give you all the tasks needed kan. Dia dah bagi task. And then it is about giving opinion and also discussion. And although we want your opinion, it should not be too bagaimana ya, terlalu relax sangat ya. Dia kena ada sedikit formality lah dalam memberi opinion ya, walaupun kita minta your opinion kan. Dan perlu diingat bahawa the issues related to you, what I mean is the question, dia akan banyak soalan-soalan yang mungkin keluar ialah something that is related to you. Jadi tak perlu dirisau ya, something that you are familiar with ya, matters in your family, your school, maybe your friend dan juga your neighborhood ya. I give example kan. Okay, the question mungkin tanya pasal cleanliness issues in your neighborhood. Kemudian macam kita baru ni, kita ada online classes, your hobbies, how you spend money, and then importance of healthy lifestyle. Maksudnya benda-benda yang berkait dengan anda. Jadi tak perlu risau sangatlah untuk part 2 kan, sebab dia masih lagi revolves around you. Okay. Alright, the question. Semua orang masih ingat soalan ni, baru lagi kita jawab kan. Okay, let's take a look at what you should do. Dalam apa jua soalan, for my point of view, walaupun benda ni simple, but please underline ataupun circle any words that is important. Yeah, for example, the first one, ini
Madam
kena ingat.
Madam Meja,
Yes.
ganggu boleh?
Yes.
Can you click hide on the dialog box because it's blocking the word. Pada yang write your essay using all notes, you block. Can you just, at the dialog box in the center, can you just hide it? By the way, boleh tak? Tutup dulu.
Okay,
Hide.
kejap. Let me see. What do I do? I have to stop sharing
Hide.
first?
No, hide. No. Just tekan hide. There's the one at the bottom. Di sebelah tu stop sharing ada hide.
Oh, ada hide. Okay, got it. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
there you go. Lawa,
Okay, got it.
sorry.
I nampak dah ya. Okay,
And
thank you
by
so
the
much,
way,
Ms.
students,
Nurul.
if you have any question, sila tulis di bayang chat di bawah. And please be civil sebab kita ada cikgu, kita ada kawan-kawan daripada sekolah lain. Jadi kalau ada soalan nak tanya teacher Eja ataupun teacher-teacher yang terror kat sini, silalah tanya ya. Okay, teacher Eja, sorry, teruskan.
Alright, no worry. Thank you so much. Okay, jadi 125 to 150 words. Not that much pun. Yang bukan banyak sangat pun nak menulis. Kena ingat, kadang-kadang kita ni dah syok menulis, lupa dah kan. So that one you need to highlight first. And then look at the task given to you. Apa dia yang you kena buat? You have the situation given to you is about online classes. You berbincang dalam kelas dengan cikgu, online classes during COVID-19 pandemic. So your teacher asks you to share your experience on online learning. Seterusnya kita tengok ini yang teacher kata tadi, guided writing, sebab kita ada the first one dia bagi you advantages of online learning. Apa kebaikan ataupun kelebihan untuk online learning. Next we have the disadvantages of online learning. Apa pula kelemahan dan juga keburukan. Sebab sesuatu yang baik tu pasti ada keburukannya juga kan. Kemudian the last one ni kadang-kadang pelajar dia lupa when they discuss about advantages dan juga disadvantages, they forgot to mention the last part, iaitu whether you prefer online learning ataupun classroom learning. Memang berlaku kadang-kadang essay dah bagus dah, semua good, suddenly dekat akhirnya pelajar ni lupa nak mention pasal dia suka yang mana, online learning ataupun classroom learning. So this is something that you should remember, sebab itulah kena garis-garis dan garis, jangan malas tau this one. Kemudian the last one it says here, using all the notes, dia ingatkan lagi sekali kepada anda, and giving reasons. Itu yang akan membezakan nanti when you give advantages. For example, you give one advantage, you must have your reasons for giving that advantage. Macam itulah So that would be membezakanlah essay kamu daripada orang lain kalau orang lain tak bagi advantage. Dia punya reason tu lah, dia punya elaboration tu. Maksudnya reason here ialah elaboration. Okay, so moving on. Okay, sample 1. So I took this one okay, from one of the students. Kita tunjukkan sikit So the term new normal has become, obviously spelling there. Wavy line tu maksudnya ada masalah spelling, patutnya tak ada D kan. So the oft used term, dia rasa satu penggunaan term yang baik. Anyway, the term is only one. When you say oft used term, there's only one term. Okay, tak perlu ada S kat situ. Di sini ada masalah SVA lah, subject verb agreement. When one's talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. So one of the normal thing is online learning. So di sini pelajar dah mention tentang the issue ataupun the situation of based on the question, which is good. Ini sebagai introduction, dia tak boleh straight away nak bincang terus advantages kan. So terus dia bagi tahu dulu apa dia punya introduction, sedikit tentang situasi COVID-19 dan kemudian kenapa online learning tu jadi sesuatu yang normal ataupun yang baru kena guna semua orang guna kan. So students and teachers are forced, maybe it's not suitable used here, maybe just simply say students and teachers have to use the media social platform for the sake of knowledge ataupun untuk learning lah Online learning can be extremely, spelling again, extremely beneficial or the complete opposite for someone Maksudnya di sini pelajar ni dah cuba memberitahu bahawa perbincangan seterusnya dia nak cakap tentang kebaikan dan keburukan, which is very good Okay, next one, I go to advantages. Teacher dah pisah-pisahkan, senang untuk kamu nampak daripada satu essay tu. Okay, so for this one, this candidate mentioned about the advantages of online learning. Di sini dia baru sebut satu advantage kan, jadi tak boleh advantages. So the advantage of online learning includes the efficiency of one's learning process. Okay, unlike the real life classes. So di sini is a good phrases di mana dia guna untuk untuk dia membezakan between online dan juga offline lah ataupun classroom classes lah. The students.
Ya, ganggu kejap.
Ya.
Ray ada tanya, ini bincang soalan MPP2 ke?
Yes. Kita bincang pasal MPP2.
Lepas tu
kita dah mention tadi, maybe Ray baru masuk Okay.
Lepas tu Muhammad Adli tanya, Assalamualaikum teacher, what happen if the student exceed the word limit?
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. Okay, untuk exceed pada teacher mungkin tak memberi masalah dari segi pemakahan kamu tu, but the problem is kamu ada 3 essay, so why should you spend so much time on this one sedangkan kita ada essay yang perlu tulis lebih panjang. Jadi pada teacher dia lebih kepada time management. Untuk dari segi pemakahan dia tak akanlah ganggu sampai makah dia teruk ke apa, tak, because of dia panjang. Tapi ruginya kamu kalau menulis terlalu banyak sedangkan benda nak sikit saja. Alright? Okay, itu jawapan teacher Saya harap menjawablah soalan kamu. Okay, so the students were able to, tapi teacher tak faham apa yang dia nak sampaikan. Maybe orang scan ni pun tak habis Anyway, kalau ayat ni straight away, the students were able to finish the assignment or homework because of the free time they have pun boleh terus je lah macam tu. Online classes usually takes, sebab classes tu macam banyak kan, so you take tak boleh ada as lah, less time and students can watch the recorded lessons at their convenience. So ini dia membincangkan tentang kebaikan-kebaikan online class. Kemudian kita ada furthermore bagusnya penggunaan cohesive devices ataupun sentence connectors. Students can save up their money lah, tak payah saving as the fees for online course are way lower and cheaper compared to the traditional way of teaching. Macam tu ya. Okay, more lower tu dah ada comparison dah, tak boleh guna more pula kat depan Okay, moving on, teacher pergi kepada disadvantages. So this candidate start with even though, which is good kan, nampak tak ada, dia ada flow di situ kan, dia cerita pasal kebaikan, walaupun begitu sebab menunjukkan perbezaan dah kepada point yang seterusnya. There are numerous benefits, yang ni tak apa sebab dia kata ada banyak benefits. Maknanya dia boleh macam tadi tu the advantages tak boleh sebab nak dia sebut satu perkara je kan. This one dia buat secara umum dulu, ada banyak benefits of attending online learning ataupun attending je tak apa sesuai, of practicing pun boleh lah perkataan dia kan. There are also the cashback, drawback kot saya rasa perkataan sepatutnya. Students tend to get distracted from their learning while playing when they are in front of their gadgets. Selalu berlaku kat kamu kan? Boleh relate tak? Sebab cikgu panggil dia hello good morning apa kan, kita duduk main game lagi apa kan, duduk layan TikTok lagi kan, jadi lambat. Jadi macam itulah, itu antara keburukan. Okay, very good. This might occurs when students get bored of the or when the atmosphere of the class, I don't think atmosphere is the student themselves, they become moody. Like student pun sometimes because of the stress and everything kan, jadi they become moody. In addition, another penggunaan penanda wacana, which is good. There are also some students who are having problems either with the internet connection or the gadget itself, which is very true. Ni memang anak-anak murid teacher sendiri pun hadapi benda sama tu yang teacher katakan tadi kan. Essay kedua ni ataupun part 2 ni sangat rapat dengan diri kamu sebenarnya. So you don't have to worry about it kan. Benda yang kita biasa alami, kita alami sendiri. Jadi boleh sebutlah, boleh jawab insya-Allah. Okay, moving on. Preference. Okay, at the end of the essay, pelajar ni dia at the end of the day, it's actually up for the person, it is up to the person themselves ataupun to decide whether spelling to benefit from online classes or otherwise. Jadi di sini dia bagi secara umum dulu, sama ada nak, but based on my experience on online learning, bagus. Jadi kadang-kadang setengah student dia lupa, dia habis dekat situ je. Dia habis dekat tu, terpulang pada siapa-siapa, pada setiap orang sama ada nak online ataupun tak nak online. Tapi kadang-kadang dia stop kat situ, lupa. So this student dia tak lupa, which is good. Based on my experience on online learning, I personally have started to adopt and take my liking towards online classes. Maksudnya preference, dia dah bagi soalan tanya which one do you prefer kan. So pelajar ni dah beritahu dia prefer online learning ataupun online classes compared to classroom classes. Okay, jadi dia menjawab semua kan, kita tengok markah dia berapa Okay, so this student for content wise dia boleh dapat 5. Why? Because it is relevant to the task. Semua yang minta advantages, disadvantages, dia beritahu semua kan. Kemudian target reader is fully informed of what it means. Dia discuss pasal online learning. Kemudian dia mention apa dia advantages dan juga disadvantages Kemudian at the end dia bagi pula personal ataupun dia punya preference tu lah, apa dia prefer, apa online ataupun classroom yang biasa dalam kelas lah. Okay, seterusnya kita tengok CA also 5 because this student is able to make general statements about the topic before moving on. Maksudnya macam teacher kata tadi kan, introduction dia ada bagi tahu sedikit what are the things that she's going to discuss dalam intro, dia dah beritahu. Kemudian baru dia pergi kepada one by one Kemudian the ideas are communicated straightforward. Yang mudah faham kan, essay dia kita mudah faham. Kemudian untuk O ataupun organisation, she can get 5 because the essay is well organised. Dia ada each paragraph kan, kita ada setiap ada perenggan-perenggan tu discuss on different tasks lah mengikut soalan. Okay. Kemudian apa lagi, sentence connectors ataupun cohesive devices are used appropriately. Diguna secara dengan betul lah, dengan tepat. Furthermore, personally, actually, even though, in addition kan, diguna dalam dia punya essay. And as for language, sebab pelajar ni banyak juga dia buat errors on subject verb agreement kan. And then however the use of complex grammatical forms are used with a good degree of control. Walaupun sedikit SVA tu mengganggu kan, tapi ayat tu basically kita faham. Ada setengah orang lagi berbelik-belik kan, tapi tak boleh dapat penuh lah, they got 4. Okay, so
Madam
right.
Ija,
Yes.
got questions from a student, boleh?
Silakan.
Okay, Azlin Daniela tanya, teacher, for the last sentence dalam program intro, kena tulis thesis statement ke?
Yes. Basically it is like that. Thank you so much for that question ataupun like suggestion pun ya kan, ataupun reminder juga, betul tu. Yeah, it's like a sort of thesis statement sebenarnya, sebab kita memberitahu apa yang kita nak bincangkan seterusnya. Macam bagi salam dululah kan, tak boleh straight away terus pergi ke, kalau maknanya kalau kita ada thesis statement means that kita punya essay tu is very good. You are controlling your essay, you beritahu apa yang nak berlaku seterusnya, memberi persediaan kepada readers untuk expect apa yang you akan discuss lah, sebab kita bukan write story kan, nak buat satu debaran dan sebagainya straight away. That's what that is good. Thank you very much for the question. Okay, we move on ya.
Just before you move on, one same student, dia tanya, teacher, intro paragraph can write 3 sentences about general statement and 1 sentence about thesis statement?
Okay, it's not about like berapa ayat atau berapa baris kan, it's not important. As long as you have like tadi lah dikatakan ada general statement dan juga thesis statement, you bring in dalam you punya intro, then that would be fine. Yang tak perlu orang kata mesti rigid berapa, mesti ada berapa perenggan, ada berapa baris kan, tak perlulah. Tetapi at the same time, I would like to tell you that kita tak perlulah memanjang-manjangkan sangatlah kita punya introduction. Simple pun tetapi asalkan memenuhi kehendak, then it will be okay. Alright? Okay,
Alright.
shall I?
Yeah, thank you Madam Ija.
Yeah, thank you so much Miss Nurul. Okay, I move on to the next sample. Sorry dia sengit sikit. Tapi boleh nampak kan. Okay, and nowadays our spelling kat situ saya lupa tanda, sorry. Online classes are becoming, so online classes maybe have become our new routine because of COVID-19 pandemic. But do we enjoy learning by it? It's like tak berapa sesuai kat situ kan. Do we enjoy it like that? Like, tu boleh tanya macam tu terus. There are some people who maybe like it but others don't. That is why this learning method has has its advantages and disadvantages. So nampak tak? Another apa orang kata, dia bagi situasi sedikit dan juga dia juga mention bahawa apa dia nak bincangkan seterusnya. Inilah sebabnya kita punya cara belajar macam ni ada kelebihan dan ada keburukan. Jadi kat sini dia beritahu juga, walaupun dia tak kata I will discuss on, dia tak sebut kan, tetapi dia mention ada kebaikan, ada keburukan. Kita dah boleh expect kan apa yang dia nak bincang selepas tu. Okay. This is the advantages written by sample 2 answers ataupun this candidate lah student ni. Online classes have their own advantages, like students have the ability to search or access to their learning materials through internet. On the same way, at the same time, actually students, I think should have also have more time to spend with their family. Tak perlu spend time lagi sekali dah kat situ. To spend with their family. So teachers saja letak A1, A2 tu sebagai advantages lah sebenarnya. Itu terpulang pada cara cikgu menulis lah, untuk kita nampak kan apa student ni mention ke tak mention ke. Nak letak boleh, nak letak pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, to spend time with their family or study for other subjects. Other than that, student can change their lifestyle as well. Okay, so what is it? They can have more time doing something new. Ini yang kita kata tadi reasoning kan, bila dia sebut kelebihan tu, kemudian dia ada explanation a little bit kan. They have more time doing something rather than study all the time. Yeah. Furthermore, spelling there. The advantages of online classes are students can learn from anywhere. This is so convenient. Spelling for students who study in other country ni saya rasa macam apa maksud dia pula kan. Maksudnya nak cakap bahawa it's actually convenient for the students no matter where they are, macam itulah ya. In addition, spelling again, ada percubaan menggunakan kohesif penggunaan penyambung ayat tu yang cuma ada masalah spelling sikit. Boleh improve lah ya lepas ni pelajar ni. Kalau dia menonton, dia tengok essay dia kan. So because online classes not are doing at home, because online classes like there's no apa orang kata exact place for online class kan. You can just do it anywhere kan. You tak boleh kata kita buat kat rumah sebenarnya. So student don't need to get ready. Actually ada sambungan dia sikit, teacher terus pergilah ke sana. Doesn't need to like wear uniform or ask the parents to send them to school lah. Kat sini ada dia punya kelebihan juga. Kemudian we go to DIS tu, which mean disadvantages. However, besides the good side of online classes, they are also they also have their bad side. Maksudnya keburukan lah. Of online classes. There's a few disadvantages of online classes. For example, some students, kemudian tak ada S kat situ, may have problem with their network connection. Okay, they mention one di situ. If this kind of accident happen, we don't call it accident. If this happens, sudahlah kan. Okay, the students may miss out some lessons. So on the other hand, pelajar ni banyak kali kan melakukan kesalahan dari segi penggunaan apa tu orang panggil sentence connectors ya. There may have few students who di sini dia nak mention bahawa they are not able. There are few students who are not able to use electronic devices yang tinggal kat situ like smartphone or computer. Other than that, for students who have the ability or who are able to use because maksudnya mampu lah ni. Di sini dia nak katakan bahawa kalau pelajar tu mampu ada alat-alat elektronik semua tu, tetapi dia tak guna pula dengan bijak kan. For example, they rather play online games or watch YouTube than stay tune ataupun dia focusing on the online classes. Jadi kat situlah maksudnya ada percubaan untuk membincangkan kan. Maksudnya kita boleh faham lagi. Tapi perlu diingatlah kadang-kadang bila sebenarnya sebabnya kita ni cikgu Melayu tau. Jadi kita boleh faham benda anak murid kita nak kata kan, tapi perlu diingat bahawa macam bila kamu menulis, kamu anggapkan bahawa kamu menulis untuk Mak Saleh baca tau. Jadi bila Mak Saleh baca kadang-kadang boleh ke dia faham. Tapi sebab kita ni orang Melayu, kita tahu sebab kadang-kadang you you cuba translate straightforward, Allahu Akbar. Orang kata translate bahasa Melayu tu straight kan, bahasa Inggeris tu, sebab tu dia jadi ayat tu dia macam tu. It's not English structure kan, dia Malay structure yang di-Englishkan. Selalu macam tu, betul tak? Jadi itu kadang-kadang kita menghadapi kesukaran untuk menulis. However, a good try kan untuk student ni, dia dah cuba. Okay, kita teruskan ya. Kita tengok dia punya closure. In my opinion, I prefer classroom learning more than online learning. Dah dijawab, bagus. Because in the classroom, you can ask your teacher or friends if you don't understand any topics. Okay, so the interaction can be maybe interactive ke macam tu ya, between you and others. Bukan more closer lah, dah lah 2 kali more kan, more lagi closer lagi kan. Okay, so I teruskan kepada Mark ya, dia punya markah. Okay, so this student dia punya content yes 5 sebab dia mention everything kan, every details about is relevant to the task. And then target reader also fully informed walaupun ada sedikit ni lah apa orang kata because of penggunaan ayat dia sikit kan, tetapi still dia memenuhi kehendak soalan. Okay, looking at communicative achievement teacher bagi 4 kat sini, but most probably pun boleh dapat 3 juga. Sebabkan tadilah kalau kita tengok kan dia ada sedikit apa orang kata masalah dari segi the structure itself, ya. So make general statements about the topic, betul, yes, the student did that. And then ada some wrong word choice dan juga phrases yang itu yang Cece kata tadi kan, dia ganggu sedikit pemahaman. Jadi kita kurang smooth lah bila kita baca. So that's why sama ada boleh dapat 4 ataupun 3 pun mungkin boleh jadi range mark kat situ lah, ya. Kemudian dari segi organisation dia ada good paragraphing anyway. Maksudnya ada intro, ada advantages, disadvantages kan. Dan dia juga cuba menggunakan apa? Penggunaan, actually betul penggunaan cohesive device ataupun dia punya connectors tu betul digunakan, cuma ejaan kadang-kadang silap kan. Tapi dari segi tu betul. So moving on to the language, dia rasa range of this student use range of everyday vocabulary dalam perbincangan tadi. And that is related to the topic which is about online classes. And then ada percubaan juga untuk guna ayat kompleks kan, tetapi ada spelling mistakes and errors tu yang menyebabkan kadang kita kurang faham maksud dan sebagainya lah. Yeah. Okay, so I move on to the last sample which is sample 3. Boleh ya Miss Nurul, I teruskan?
Do you want to ask few question? You want to answer a few question? Ada budak tanya ni.
Boleh.
I letak satu satu ni daripada pelajar, nama dia Nurul Huda. Tak tahu siapa ni.
Oh,
Hi,
Nurul Huda.
teacher. I want to ask you, which part that we should use the best connects or words?
Apa tu?
Best connectors, I mean, I guess connectors or conjunctions, I guess. Nice try Nurul Huda.
Masa bila nak guna ke maksud dia? Masa bila nak guna? Okay. So actually bila kita membincangkan sesuatu kan, bila tengah berbincang, kita tak boleh macam contohnya saya makan nasi, saya minum air, saya kenyang, saya nampak tak? Kalau ayat tanpa connectors nampak sangat kita pun tak tahu kepala ekor kat mana, betul tak? So masa bila nak guna is that especially bila macam tadi kan, bila cakap pasal advantages kemudian disadvantages, apabila kita nak membezakan dua benda, kita kena tahu bahawa we need to use connectors yang berlawanan, ya. Maksudnya perkataan on the other hand ataupun even though, however, macam tu kan. Tetapi kalau untuk ayat yang macam menyokong ataupun menyokong, maksud tak berlaku pertindihan antara dua ayat tu, ya. For example, kita kata tadi online learning tadi, kebaikan dia kita boleh belajar di mana saja, dan nak tambah satu lagi pasal kebaikan juga. So kita tambah furthermore, moreover, kan, other than that, maksudnya kita cuba memberi list kebaikan. Maka kita gunalah sentence connectors yang berkaitan untuk menyampaikan list dan nak tunjukkan kita sambung list ayat tu kan. Maksudnya masa bila nak guna tu memang mengikut kesesuaian lah pada waktu yang kita perlu, tapi tak boleh tak ada langsung kan, kena ada guna sentence connectors in your essay. Ya, sebab tak ada macam cik kata tadi kan, tak tahu kepala ekor kat mana kan. Okay, so you should use it. Use it wisely lah. Kadang-kadang ada orang guna, dia silap guna pula. Tu masalahnya kan. So make sure kamu dah boleh kuasai penggunaan sentence connectors lah. Ya. Okay, Miss Nurul.
Daripada Siti Nobaiti binti Muhammad. Teacher, may I know what phrases or what indications that contribute to high marks for CA from this essay? Communicative achievement.
Communicative achievement. Okay, untuk communicative achievement, macam mana kita nak dapat good one is that if you produce text that communicate straightforward je actually. Tapi orang kata dia punya conventions of communicative task, faham tak? Maksudnya dia kita baca sekali pun mudah je faham, smooth je kan ayat. That's why kadang-kadang pelajar ni dia fikir terlalu suka sebenarnya, menyukakan keadaan. It's okay for you to write something simple actually. Tetapi kita boleh faham. Macam kadang-kadang ada pelajar yang memanjang-manjangkan ayat, kononnya nak buat ayat kompleks dan sebagainya kan, tapi kita tak mahir untuk buat complex sentences dan kita cuba buat ayat kita jadi berterabur kan. Di situ dah kita tak boleh nak sampaikan maksud, macam tak sampai maksud, tak sampai hajat apa yang kita nak sampaikan. Itu yang jadi low mark tu. Jadi communicative achievement ni macam tadi kan, the first one, kita tengok essay yang pertama tu, walaupun ada juga kekurangan dia tapi kita boleh faham jelas je kan, like dia, yang teacher baru tunjuk saat ni, tengok tu dengan ability dia kan, tengok dia punya ayat tu like kita faham dia nak sampaikan tapi dia punya kokak kalau kita baca kan nak kita tak baca dengan smooth je essay dia kan. Nampak tak, kalau essay tu smooth and then kita menggunakan like tadilah cara menyampaikannya dengan baik, mengikut tone yang sesuai lah. Macam this one je kata tadi kan, discussion walaupun opinion tak boleh terlalu relax sangat opinion tu, mesti agak mature lah, maksudnya kamu menyampaikan opinion secara matang, macam tu. Jadi makanya tinggilah kamu punya communicative achievement ya. Okey, harap je dah menjawab soalan Siti tadi ya. Okey, kita teruskan lah.
Yes, last ada satu lagi, unknown gamer, I'm couldn't this can be used contraction lah, you know, I'm, you are, contractions can be used in this part of essay or cannot?
I think it will be better that you use in full, you write in full. Sebaiknya kita tulis dalam penuh, sebab dia agak formal juga kan. Unless macam kita punya part 1, iaitu kita punya email, sometimes kan you talk to your friend, talk to your cousin, jadi yang tu kita boleh write dengan lebih relax lah. But this one try to keep it formal a little bit lah.
Yes. Jadi stresnya kalau boleh elakkan tulis ringkas-ringkas biar betul.
Yes. That's true.
Last kali daripada orang yang sama, Azlin Daniela, if I'm not mistaken, Azlin Daniela. Good morning teacher, can I write definition sentence for the first sentence?
The definition first sentence apa ni, tak faham teacher ni.
Oh, that's the thing. I'm not sure juga. Write definition sentence for the first sentence. Kok you faham, Madam Eja? I'm wondering kok relevant.
I cannot get it. Maybe siapa Daniela tadi could maybe retype or you know like give another comment yang supaya, maaflah sebab dia pun kurang faham apa yang nak disampaikan tu. CA is not there kot nah, communicative achievement tu.
Sebab dia tanya lagi tu, good morning, right,
boleh tulis balik teacher macam kurang faham sikit apa yang nak disampaikan, so I cannot respond to that question ya.
Dia kata ayat definasi. So Daniela, what do you mean by ayat definasi? You maksudnya bagi maksud kepada soalan ke macam mana Daniela?
Oh gini kot. Okay Daniela, teacher cuba jawab maksud kamu macam gini kot, macam definition tu mesti tepat ke? Macam tu kan, tak semestinya. Definition is something that kita, what do you think about, I mean kita kan sebab dalam ni kita jawab, kalau contoh kita duduk kat rumah, kita boleh je lah Google ke apa nak tengok dia punya definition yang tepat kan. Jadi untuk masa kita menjawab dalam exam, dalam day 1 pula tu, tak ada nak refer pada mana-mana. So just you know write based on what you think, yang kamu rasa boleh lah. Like online classes tu apa? Kita tahu bahawa online classes kita tak perlu pergi sekolah. Kemudian you learn through you know via internet kan, kita perlukan network connection untuk, so just mention all those things. Dah jadi definition dah, tak perlu orang kata dalam refer pada mana-mana untuk dapat definition yang tepat, tak semestinya. Is your idea lah based on the question given kan. Sama je macam contoh isu pasal health pasal kesihatan, kita mention lah. So health tu, what does it mean by health? Ialah orang yang sihat tubuh badan, sentiasa dari segi fizikal, dari segi mental, macam tu lah. Dan tak sakit dan sebagainya. Nampak tak ada pun essay definition yang tepat daripada Kementerian Kesihatan bagi pun apa yang kita rasa lah. Macam tu ya.
Beres Madam Eja. Sebenarnya Madam Eja banyak aktif chat group kita kat sekarang ni. Jadi adik-adik students, if you have questions, sila tengok chat, sebab dalam chat ni pun kita ada cikgu-cikgu kita. So if you have question boleh tanya, dan harap cikgu-cikgu yang familiar dengan marking SPM, you can try advise your friends, advise your students buat. Okay, next Teacher Eja, sorry, I think you also dah.
Don't worry. Okay. The last sample essay ya. Sempat untuk satu lagi sample essay?
Boleh.
Okay. Alright, so sample essay 3. This one, introduction. During COVID-19 pandemic, our country is totally locked down. So here I would say our country implemented a total lockdown for example, and we as students need to learn online, macam itulah there are many advantages and disadvantages of online learning. See, nampak tak di student? Very simple kan, tetapi still dalam introduction dia mention bahawa kita ada berlaku pandemik, kita perlu belajar online, dan dia mention terus ada kebaikan dan keburukan online learning. Nampak simple kan? Tapi dia menjawab soalan tak? Dia jawab soalan Okay, moving on, dia punya advantages. The advantages of online learning is teacher can use many convenience. Convenience apa? For example, convenience tools or something kan? Such as YouTube and Telegram for learning process, I would say. Next, students can work full time with their family. Yang ni yang pelik sikit. I would say that student can spend time lah. Kok ada pelajar yang kerja dengan mak kan masa cuti ni kan, sebab tu tak masuk online class kan, betul tak? Lepas tu dia pergi kerja pula dekat kedai runcit. Okay, alright, tak apa nak kerja tolong mak tu, tapi belajar dulu masa kelas, masuk kelas. Tapi tak tahulah apa yang nak disampaikan student kita kat sini, but maybe what he wants to say is that to spend time lah actually dengan family kan while attending classes. Betul, kita duduk dalam rumah kan, still walaupun kita sibuk dengan depan gadget, at least you are with your parents and your family kan. Okay, kemudian students can also learn anywhere lah, tak perlu them where at work at where. Okay, teacher dah tanda kat situ. Kemudian the requirement lah, maybe the requirement untuk online learning ada apostrophe di situ, is telephone and also internet connection ataupun electronic devices. Dia boleh tukar kepada, sebab bukan telefon saja kan, we can also use computer and tabs and things like that, right? Alright, so I move on to the next one, which is the disadvantages. Simple kan essay student ni? The disadvantages of online learning. So disadvantages of online learning is students will be stressful because it is hard to understand online through online learning, maybe to understand any subject ataupun to understand the lesson or whatever lah, dia tinggal kat situ. Student will also lose interaction in learning because they do not get the point, meaning that they don't understand. Besides, teacher cannot explain in details about the topic that they are teaching. Mungkinlah kadang-kadang ada masalah gangguan connection dan sebagainya, jadi cikgu pun tak boleh nak explain in details kan. Jadi nampak simple, tetapi nampak tak disadvantages dia. Dia bagi satu ke dua? Satu tak susah nak faham, pelajar ada connection masalah kan, kemudian cikgu pula tak boleh nak explain. Ada dua kan, lebih dari satu. Dah menjawab soalan sebenarnya. Kemudian kita pergi kepada preference. Lastly, I prefer, tak perlu more, I prefer classroom learning than online learning because it will be more fun and effective. In in learning and ataupun in understanding or whatever lah, macam tu kan, dah tambah sikit lah. Cumanya bagus kan, at the end dia mention apa yang sebenarnya beza essay ni daripada essay lain. Kita tunjuk full essay dia ni full essay dia. So apa yang berlaku kat sini, nampak tak? Walaupun sebab teacher cut tadi, mungkin kamu nampak macam ada perenggan yang berbeza kan, but actually the students dia menulis dalam like one whole paragraph, kecuali kita ada penutup tu, dia ada another perenggan lah kat situ, macam dua perenggan je essay ni kan. So what mark did the students get? Kita tengok simple kan, nampak? Tetapi ingat, essay kita is 125 words. And this student actually kata cukup makan dia 125 tu. Jadi jangan risau. That's why saya kata jangan some students dia menulis sebanyak-banyaknya macam tu. I don't mind kamu buat, kalau kamu memang cepat menulis, tak ada masalah. Tapi ada student yang terlalu fokus sangat, saya buat nak menulis this one banyak, sedangkan dia boleh masa tu sepatutnya di-spend untuk kita punya third part of essay kan. Jadi rugilah kalau kamu spend masa banyak sangat tengok pelajar ni. Banyak ni je dia tuliskan, apa markah dia dapat, let's see Okey, nampak? Okey lah kan? Maksudnya bukan dia cuma menggalakkan kau tulis sikit ni Maksudnya walaupun pendek ke apa, kena tepat, kena grammar on point dan sebagainya. Tetapi teacher nak maklumkan bahawa walaupun pendek pun markah dia boleh tahan kan, tak adalah teruk sangat dia dapat, betul tak? Because dari segi content, like I said just now, content dia masih lagi menepati kehendak soalan. Okay, dia discuss all the tasks walaupun dia agak simple lah, sebab tu dia dapat 4, dia tak ada dapat 5 kan. Kemudian dari segi communicative achievement, this candidate is able to communicate straightforward juga idea dia sebenarnya, tetapi it is quite simple and reasonably appropriate. Kurang orang kata kalau kita baca pun macam boleh beza lah kan essay daripada yang pertama tadi, kedua dan juga the last one ni. Kita boleh nampak lah beza dia kan. Bagaimana maknanya kalau pendek sangat pun kadang-kadang tak boleh nak sampaikan macam tu kita tak boleh nak sampaikan apa yang kita nak tu. So communicative achievement is about menyampaikan apa sajalah yang kita nak sampaikan tu. Jadi kalau kita terlalu pendek sangat pun kadang-kadang agak sukarlah untuk kita achieve communicative achievement lah. Kemudian dari segi organisation, macam teacher tunjuk kamu tadi kan, dia punya paragraph actually it was like seolah-olah one paragraph saja, ataupun dan sebenarnya ada 2 paragraph because penutup tu dia buat paragraph lain. So in terms of organisation, masalah dari segi paragraphing, and also text is connected using tapi walaupun bagaimanapun dia still guna connectors yang macam besides, lastly ada dia guna juga, bukan tak ada guna langsung walaupun pendek kan dalam organisation dia. And the last one dari segi language also 3. Jadi basically kan kalau kita tengok ketiga essay ni mempunyai permasalahan yang sama lah. Dari segi grammar tu was not that good enough lah sebab dia dapat 3 je. Maaf teacher tak dapat share essay yang bagus, maksudnya yang dapat 5 ke language tak ada jadi gitulah dalam masa yang singkat dan sebagainya. And also essay-essay yang dihasilkan kamu semua itulah yang dapat teacher tunjukkan lah tetapi at least kamu nampak sedikit kan bagaimana cara nak dapatkan markah for content, CA, organisation and also language. Alright, okay, so teacher teruskan okay, how to improve your part 2 essay. Okay, jadi caranya teacher tunjukkan sikit. Template or framework, but we call it framework lah yang lebih tepat So first we need introduction, dan biasanya dalam apa jua topik pun it's like definition, dan macam teacher explain tadi, definition tidak semestinya satu definition yang tepat. You can just mention the situation. Kadang-kadang kita bagi contoh situation ni, macam bagi contoh sedikit kan. Macam contohnya kalau cerita pasal health, kesihatan, you start off with a person who doesn't take enough vitamins might probably berlaku apa, orang yang tak cukup zat dan sebagainya, apa yang dialami itu adalah situasi. So you start off dengan bagi situasi, boleh juga. Kemudian macam teacher lebih refer kepada apa yang berlaku dalam MPP 2 kita lah Jadi yang macam ini dia dah bagi dah, maksudnya advantages kita mention. Di sini dia bagi 2 lah contoh, tetapi macam kamu bagi tadi pun ada lagi bagus dari ini kan. Maksudnya at least ada 2. Sebab apa? Sebab dia kata advantages, tak boleh satu. Kemudian disadvantages, the same thing, pun kena ada lebih dari satu. Kemudian what is your stand? At the end tu jangan lupa saya suka online learning ataupun classroom learning. Sebab setengah orang suka end dengan secara secara umum sangat. Last dia pun tak ada, dia suka yang mana, dia tak sebut, dia lupa sebut. So be very careful about that. Kemudian make sure your grammar is on point. Subject verb agreement lah macam tadi lah. The students likes macam tu. The classes are ke is. Nampak tak? Jadi that is subject verb agreement. Sayang kadang-kadang sebab ayat pelajar tu, setengah pelajar struggle untuk buat ayat jadi satu ayat yang bagus kan, tetapi pelajar ni ayat dia dah bagus dah, cuma masalah is, are, was, were tu je, kat situ je silap sikit. Jadi pay attention on to that lah, to that matter Sentiasa ingat, maksudnya that's why kalau menjawab, kalau boleh ada masa untuk check again. Bila kita check balik, baru sedar, okay I kena guna ni. Dan spelling tadi kan, kalau kita lihat penggunaan connectors, betul, masalah spelling pula. Sayang kan, dari segi punctuation juga ada koma ke, ada titik ke dan sebagainya lah. Kemudian the vocabulary, choice of words should be accurate. Dan teacher rasa untuk part tu sebenarnya kelebihan untuk kamu kerana vocabulary insya-Allah kamu boleh je sebenarnya, because soalan yang ditanya ialah revolves around you. apa yang berkaitan dengan diri anda alami sendiri kan, pengalaman, kongsi pengalaman sendiri kan. Jadi sesuatu yang kita biasa. InsyaAllah ada vocabulary yang kata tak adalah yang dahsyat-dahsyat yang kita cari kan. Kemudian paragraphing, jangan lupa kena ada paragraph based on the, apa orang kata, dia bagi dah soalan-soalan tadi kan. Jadi kita buat paragraph berdasarkan itulah, berdasarkan soalan. Dan teacher suka juga kalau macam contoh advantages, kamu terus conteng dalam apa kata soalan tu, kamu terus conteng dengan dia punya apa orang kata, keyword-keyword yang kamu nak gunakan lah. Kalau kata kelebihan, apa dia nak sebut kelebihan, kekurangan tu apa kekurangan, tulis siap-siap, conteng siap-siap pada kertas soalan ya. Lagi kat situ kita dah boleh nampak lah dalam paragraf ni apa kita nak tulis dan paragraf seterusnya lah. Okay, and the last one, answer the questions. Maksud teacher ialah jawablah soalan, kan soalan minta kamu suka yang mana, yang tu pula tak jawab dah satu. Di situ bila kalau tak jawab satu, for example task kan, kelebihan tak sebut contohnya, so dah hilang kita markah dari segi content. Content wise tak dapat lah, tak dapat 5, pasti akan dapat kurang dari 5, rugi kan. Kemudian do not spend too much time lah, teacher pesan lagi sekali. Sebab ini adalah guided writing, point dah diberi pada anda, apa lagi nak fikir kan, tak ada banyak-banyak sangat nak fikir, sebagaimana kita kena fokus untuk part 3 kan, sebab part 3 tak banyak sangat dia bagi, dia cuma bagi soalan and you have to think of the points kan. Tapi this one lebih banyak membantu anda, dan also dia punya issue ataupun matters related to you yang sangat biasa dengan anda. Okay, so habis dah. So that is my part. Thank you very much for listening and all the best for your SPM ya, especially untuk writing lah. Okay, so I leave it to, I pass this to Miss Nurul.
Okay, thank you, Madam
Miss Nurul?
Eja. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. I think I
So,
got
Miss
something
Nurul?
in my camera. I'm here. Madam Eja, before you go, can I just ask one more question from the students? Overall, if you write an essay and there are grammatical error and everything, definitely dia akan potong markah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes,
how
of
bad?
course. Itu.
Yeah, so how bad or how little they're going to bottom depending the overall essay lah kan. They're not
Yes,
going to cut one by one. Okay.
Yes, betul.
thank you.
Kalau kita cut every rasanya
Can I
dapat
add?
kosong terus lah essay kan, sebab potong satu tak. Kita tengok juga. We don't kata bagi markah based on satu salah, satu buang, dua salah buang 2 markah tak. It is not like that.
Okay, Teacher Meheran, sorry, Puan Meheran, you want to say something?
Yes. Nak respon sikit pada student dengan laju-laju ya, sebab kita ada banyak, ada 3 orang panel lagi ni. Ni daripada soalan pelajar-pelajar, teacher akan terang dengan laju, so dengar betul-betul. Tadi Nur Nasuha ada sebut pasal short form. Actually short form tu macam BTW, by the way, apa semua tu, itu jangan guna dalam essay. Okay, yang Nur Nasuha what she means is contractions, like should jadi should not jadi shouldn't, I am jadi I'm, or don't, semua tu contractions. Contractions digalakkan guna dalam email because that will help you fulfill the task of the CA, communicative achievement, informal email, friendly email. Yang tu digalakkan. So kalau you guna don't, I'd instead of I would, kalau you kata I would, itu formal, so it's not suitable for email. Okay, jadi I'd or don't apa semua tu suitable for emails, tapi jangan guna untuk essay lain. You are not safe ya. Senang macam tu, senang ya, sebab part tu pun essay dia, kalau you tengok buku format LPM itu formal text dia tulis kat situ. Alright, lepas tu Atira Ramli, complex structure. Yes, of course. You kena guna complex structure untuk dapat 3 markah ke atas untuk language. Complex structure dengan less common lexis. Kalau you keep using simple structure saja dengan words yang simple-simple, you tak akan dapat 3 markah untuk part 3 ya. 3 markah ke atas untuk language part 3. I'm talking about part 3 ya. Okay, lepas tu ada tanya proverbs in essays. You pakai proverbs dalam apa? Stories. Sesuai. Proverbs dan story boleh. Jangan guna proverbs dalam report. It's a big no-no. Okay? No. Alright. Proverb dalam artikel tengok konteks. Kalau betul okay. Tengok keadaan ya. Tengok keadaan. Lepas tu one more. Okay, I think that's it. For the time being. Okay? Alright.
For
so
the
we
time
have
being.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
All right, thank you Kak Aran. Next, presenting Miss Nur Atikah bin Asnan from SNK Tuku Ibrahim. How are you, Miss Atikah? Your microphone is off.
Mute. Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, so you saw Madam Eja doing it on fire, so hopefully you can also doing it on fire.
I know, right? She's like transferring her energy to me. I was so nervous, but she made it so easy. All right, are we ready to start now?
Yes, but where's your slide? I have yet to see your slide, Madam.
Menarik. Okay, I'm going to share. All right. Can you see my slides?
Adding? All right then.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Okay, Alhamdulillah kita dah selesai satu bahagian pertama. First, we are going to now for this next part. Okay, we're going to do part 3. Going to do article. So let's get started. Okay, how going to run the discussion? So first we're going to take a look at the question. Kita akan tengok soalan dulu, kemudian we're going to jump straight forward to the samples. I love this part because there are a lot of exciting things that we can see there, and then we can go for the improvement where this is the part where how we can improve the essays and some discussion how to make it better with a higher band, and last one some tips inshallah. Okay, so let's get started with the first one. So this is the basic one, assessment skill. Kita nak yang paling tinggi, the highest, the band that we want to target so that we can get the highest marks as possible. Alright, and this is the MPP question. Okay, awak tengok soalan MPP question awak, soalan MPP yang awak buat hari tu, we're going to do that. And then we're going to look at the samples. We're going to focus on, the same like Miss Saliza have discussed, 4 components, content, communicative achievement, organization, and also language. So let's go on to the first one, question. Baik, ini adalah soalan yang paling bahagian yang paling penting. Baik, before we go into deeper into a deep discussion, a serious discussion, I nak bagi tahu you, in writing an essay, dalam kertas penulisan ini, we have 3 parts, isn't it? So the first part, we start with the easiest one, and the second one is a bit more challenging, and the last one, this part 3, is even more challenging. So the degree of difficulty is even higher. Dia lagi susah, lagi kompleks untuk kita dapatkan markah. Jadi dan pemarkahan dia, cara kita lihat pemarkahan itu juga berbeza. Meskipun markah yang sama, but you have to remember that there are a lot of things to consider when grading an excellent, to give you the maximum mark, to get you perfect score. It takes a lot in producing a good quality essay, and it starts with reading the question and analysing it thoroughly. So ini yang kita nak tengok, ini yang kita nak bagi you faham tau. So when we look at this question, kita nampaklah macam biasa ini 200 hingga 250 patah perkataan. Macam kita cakap tadi, lebih sikit-sikit tak apalah, tapi janganlah tulis sampai 400 muka surat. So be rational. And it's not about the length. We look at the quality of the production of your essay. We want to see the convention of your writing, your creativity, your ideas, your analysis, your thinking. Whatever that you have in mind is compressed and compact in one essay, which will give you what kind of band will you get. Okay, straightforward. We're going to look at the question first. You see this notice on the board in your classroom. Articles wanted. School award day. What categories of award to be given? What prizes are suitable for the winners? how can the school encourage students to win the awards? Write us an article answering this question. The best article will be published on our school Facebook page. Baca, faham, hadam. Kita fahamkan kita punya idea utama dia. General idea is this thing. Conteng kertas awak. The messier paper, the better it is. So you know, use color coding, whatever that you like. Use some highlighter. Kita tengok kat sini. Kita nak ingatkan. So ni school setting. Buat artikel. Publish dekat sekolah dan juga bukan sekadar publish kat mana-mana. Selalu magazine kan. Kita masukkan kat penulisan ini dekat school Facebook page. Now this is interesting. We're going to talk about that later. And then we're going to look at the analyzing the 3 tasks. Conteng lagi. So that you can see that your brain is connecting. Sel-sel otak you berhubung. We can see how many tasks there. 3 tasks. Okay, terus dalam kepala susun apa yang kita nak. Categories, the prizes and how the school can encourage students to win. And then the last part, the next analysis that we have to do is macam mana kita nak tulis benda ni? Nak guna present tense ke? Nak guna past tense ke? Macam mana This is where we go look at the clues here. What categories of awards to be given? Baik, to be given bermaksud benda ni tak jadi lagi tau. This language form that we can see here, this article asking you as a writer for suggestions. So you would like to use polite modal verb. For example, school should, school must. It would be nice or it would be amazing if school can blah 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 blah. So these are the phrases yang patut ada dalam fikiran awak bila awak dah tengok soalan macam ni. So you can structure your brain, like can already have the general idea. How can you write? How can you set the tone? And the last one, this is interesting. School Facebook page. Wow. Bila kita cakap school Facebook page, bermaksud orang yang dalam ini adalah social media. Semua orang ada access, and particularly your target audience will be your school and the students and teachers, and will be the general the public as well. So when we give articles on Facebook, takkanlah kita bagi satu macam kita tulis very serious one. So the article will be a bit lenient, very a bit laid back, but we do not compromise the formality that is needed to make an article, to make a sound article. Untuk artikel yang bagus perlu juga memenuhi kriteria di mana dia perlu ada formality dia tersendiri, seni dia yang tersendiri, yang kena ada nada dia, the tone, the register, it must be there. But we can see that it's a bit formal, that you can like play around with it. We can be, it's not too serious. So this is the tone that you want to set for this article. Nampak tak? So panjang kat situ kan. Jadi orang nampak bila kita dah biasa color coding, we know what we're going to do. It will be easier for you to actually to structure your essay. So dekat sini yang paling ramai orang buat kesalahan, terutama dari segi bahasa tau. Some of you even like tiba-tiba jadi report because you baca laju-laju kan, tiba-tiba you tulis report. Kan dah lari dekat situ, dia minta artikel, you buat report. Tak best lah macam tu kan, sayang lah. Jadi spend like 5 to 10 minutes reading the question thoroughly, conteng sampai conteng, fikir benda ni betul tak? So to understand that. So after that only you will going to strategize your essay. Baik, so let's move on to the next one. Okay. Ini writing strategy. Writing strategy ni bagus tau. Bila kita ada strategi, yelah, you bayangkan macam you jawab essay, it's like you going to a war. Pergi perang tau. Like the only weapon that you have is the brain of yours, the idea, the pen that you have. So you have to really know the tactics to win this one, to make sure that you have the best essay possible. Jadi apa yang saya kenalkan, if you have familiar with this technique, is Hamburger Technique, di mana macam mana awak menyusun karangan awak mencipta, menghasilkan karangan awak tu dengan jelas. Just imagine a burger. Who doesn't love burger? Like you love burger, you remember burger very well. So remember this as your writing strategy. So you start with, you can see here the 3 colors, traffic light colors, ada hijau, kuning, merah. Maksudnya kelajuan dekat situ. Bila yang atas sekali kita nak buat introduction, we have to make sure that just go. Don't think too much. This is a thesis statement, right? Whatever that you want to have in your essay. Baik, bila di atas sekali, awak kena ingat tajuk dia saya tulis dekat sini. School Award Day. Maksudnya dekat roti ni, the top bun ni, dia mestilah menerangkan apa keseluruhan essay tersebut. So you have to know that. This is what we want to the student to understand. Okay, jadi go, jangan fikir banyak. Kalau tak ada kalau awak nak fikir pasal apa school award day, serang saja. Pasal apa tu? Siapa? Who? The teachers and student. Target dia kan, siapa kita nak bagi award ni kan, bukan nak bagi kat menteri ke, nak bagi dekat apa tu persatuan mana-mana ke, tak, ni untuk sekolah. Kena fokus dekat situ, straightforward. And why is it important? Secara umum lah ni yang we can start, and then we even can start with writing hook, macam start with the asking questions or some quotes, whatever that you have in mind. But the basic things, kalau you baru mula nak menulis kan, just go with the basic, and then you can improve from that. So itu yang dipanggilkan thesis statement. Thesis statement ni apa sahaja yang memayungi karangan awak, faham kat situ. Tetapi dia bukannya cakap tu dalam tu terang akan isi apa semua, tidak tau. You kena ingat dia cuma thesis statement. Basically you will talk about your essay, school award day, dan awak akan briefly, secara ringkasnya awak akan kenalkan 3 isi awak itu. Barulah masuk dekat body paragraph, topic sentence. Topic sentence tu yang awak tengok ni, tas 1, tas 2, tas 3. Susun siap-siap ikut perangkan, senang. So dekat sini warna kuning, slow, hati-hati. Kenapa? Sebab there are a lot of things that awak kena fikir apa yang paling bermakna yang awak nak tulis dalam tu. Kita ada banyak idea, tapi apa yang paling menarik? What is the most impactful ideas that you want to write? How do you structure the complex compound? You akan sentiasa edit, write, rewrite, construct your idea. So that's why lampu kuning kat sini, warna kuning ni slow sedikit. You have to think, write and think again. Kita akan ada analisis kat situ. Dan kat sinilah awak akan terangkan, awak elaborate apa semua awak punya idea tu. Dan last kali yang awak nutup karangan awak, stop. The last paragraph, conclusion, just stop. Write it, make it short, warna merah, dan jangan tambah apa-apa dah. Janganlah dekat conclusion tu you tulis, tiba-tiba awak terangkan point nombor 2. Tak comel lah. The conclusion, the way you write your essay is according to your creativity. Macam mana, tak semestinya awak kena macam wajib 3 atas ni terangkan 3 isi, bawah ni kena terangkan semua. Tidak, but it is up to you. We just give you a guide. So jadi atas macam mana awak nak terangkan yang hujung conclusion itu, awak boleh terangkan sebut semula 3 point tadi, ataupun awak just bagi overall conclusion about your feeling or your hope, or maybe some words of motivation in having this award, something like that. But make it short, sweet and simple. 3S kat situ. Okay? Dan macam mana kita nak kembangkan idea? Okay, kat sini, this is something that I've the development of writing strategy that I've done with Miss Nurul Nakia, that we not only that we use para Hamburger Technique, but we combine it together with WH question. Jadi kat situlah macam mana awak nak merancangkan idea awak, nak menyusun, nak mengembangkan lagi macam mana awak nak menulis dengan lebih baik. Okay. So I hope you are clear about that. And then let's move on to the next one. Okay, samples. Okay, samples ni kita akan tengok 2 sampel sahaja. Kita akan fokus kepada the strength. We're going to focus on what makes it as a good essay. What can we complement the essay on? And then we're going to discuss it according to the 4 component: content, communicative achievement, organization, and also language. Okay, script 1. Okay, ini saya tukar nama lah dengan ni sebab ni bukan nama sebenar. So this is the student who wrote the essay. I letak perempuan. Kadang-kadang you tak tahu lah ni jantina dia lelaki ke perempuan kan. But this is what we have here. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to talk about how nice is the writer is when she introduced the writer introduced the essay with a general statement about school award day. It's a good time, walaupun kita ada nampak sedikit kita panggil grammatical errors, but we know that this is the writer is making an attempt to write a good introduction. So that's good. School award day. And then dibagi kenapa, make the students more enthusiastic. This is nice. And she also give more reason. It's because school authority will reward any student who is eligible. Okay, kat sini kan dia macam, dia bagus, cuma dia kurang kemas sedikit sebab kita tak jelas apa yang dia cakap, apa yang dimaksudkan oleh penulis. Yang ni dia macam nampak longgar sikit. But we know the attempt, we see the attempt there. And this writer, in her style, in this in style of writing this essay, dia combine terus intro dengan tas 1, body yang isi pertama tu. Is there any problem? No, it's her writing, it's the writer's writing, it's the style. So that's okay. Jadi jangan tanya, teacher betul ke ni, ke salah ni? No. When it comes to writing, if this format, asalkan dia berformat lah, ada perenggan, then that is alright. Baik, the first task is successfully accomplished sebab kita nampak dekat sini yang saya jalankan warna hijau ni, dia bagi tahu terus kategori, terus masuk. Nampak? Dia terus categories of award. Kat sini saya letakkan omission sebab kalau boleh diterangkan dululah sedikit mengenai apa yang dia nak cadangkan. So I would like to suggest school ke apa sebab ni cadangan. Jadi tone dia kat sini, the communicative achievement, the tone that we want to set in the article tu agak sedikit longgar lah, kita tidak sampai sikit dekat situ. Tapi bagusnya dia, the task one ni dia kata categories of award fulfilled. Dia bagi beberapa, okay, dan kemudian dia boleh give explanation. The next sentence, the student can vote any students according to the categories, and the student who has the highest vote can be the winner of the category. This is nice, well explained, well elaborated. The writer understand the task and it was successful. Good. This is what we want to applaud on the effort. So we explanation can make, it is because. So nampak tak kan betul, walaupun terdapat beberapa kesalahan grammar, but we look at the content first. So this is what we call about we talk about being fulfilling the task. Cuma ni sedikit dekat sini dia punya CA. Okay, the communicative achievement, the tone. When we talk about writing, convention of writing an article, it is very important for the writer to be able to grab reader's attention. So the writer is actually when there's some mistake here and there, and then some ideas, some sentences tu macam agak tidak jelas, the writer makes an attempt to hold the reader's attention. Attempt tu ada. So nampak tone dia sebab apa? Attempt, kita panggil attempt. Sebab dia punya nada kat sini kita nampak dah nada yang kita panggil neutral, the register, the tone. We know that this is an article. Bila kita baca perengan pertama ni, kita tak rasa macam baca report kan? Kita tak rasa macam baca story kan? Itu yang kita panggil attempt. So the first paragraph dia dah start dengan attempt. And then dia dah cantik lah dekat situ. Nampak. Jadi kita nampak attempt tu ada, nada tu dah kita nak. Cumanya dia agak longgar sedikit. Jadi kita nak celebrate on that. This is the effort. Maksudnya tone dah betul. Dia faham ini artikel. And then the writer try very hard to actually to grab the reader's attention, even though they're a bit loose. It's a bit loose there. Okay, so this is a very good attempt. It's a very good example, classic example for our students. Okay, seterusnya pula. Okay, yang ni kita tengok apa yang kedua lah, secondly. Okay, yang ni perengan kedua, body one. Okay, nampak tak gambar kat situ kan? Ada gambar tomato dekat situ. Alright, so task one, task two pula yang saya hijaukan, kita tengok macam mana dia memenuhi kehendak soalan yang kedua. Okay. Secondly, the prizes that suitable for the winners, likely a trophy, medal. Okay, nampak kat sini dia bagi contoh yang best, and the words, the vocabulary, perkataan yang diguna itu memang sesuai sangat dengan kita panggil award. So this is the thing. And interestingly, I love that the writer used the word candy, gum and a coupon. Walaupun grammatically macam agak salah sedikit, tetapi what a good idea, what a creative idea. You want to see this, it is so cute. Macam you are thinking out of the box. You think of something that others do not think about. So this is a bonus for you. So we want to see the kind of idea that we have here. So this is a very nice attempt, and I'm sure that the writer has a lot more to write, but maybe doesn't have time or whatnot. And then bagusnya the next one. Okay, ni organisation Okay, saya terangkan kepada isi dahululah, task tu dulu. Okay, then kemudian selepas dia bagi tahu the example of the suitable prizes, the writer, she explain insert the personal opinion sedikit kat situ. In my opinion, trophy will be the best prizes for the student. This is nice. Of all prizes that the writer wrote, the writer chose a trophy. And then dia punya flow tu cantiknya. Okay, dia mula dengan secondly, kemudian dia bagi in my opinion. Lepas tu kenapa dia kata the best prize tu, diterangkan lagi. Dia kata ada sebab ni, inilah sebabnya. Dia kata one reason behind this is, cara dia mula one reason behind this, ini pun cantik. I love this one. It's very creative. This is what we call convention in writing. how you actually your style, you actually you style your writing, your sentence. One reason behind this is because student can make memories with the trophy and medal compared with candy or gym or coupon. Cumanya dekat sini sedikit kekurangan yang kita rasa pelajar boleh baiki lagi. Dia macam kenapa kat sini kata how does the trophy can make memories? Tak berapa jelas dekat situ kan, idea dia agak longgar, dia tidak berapa jelas, jadi agak bermasalah dari segi communicative achievement, tidak tercapai. Maksudnya tak tersampai, apa dia nak cakap ni macam tak habis dan kita tertanya-tanya, apa tu what does it mean by that? So we think about it. Okay, cumanya organisation, minta maaf lah dia punya tulisan ni dirapat-rapat. I try my best to enlarge the script, but this is the best that I could do. I'm so sorry that you see it a bit blurred. Well, students, you know what's the lesson for this? Masa exam nanti tulis elok-elok. Awak bayangkan cikgu pemeriksa nanti macam ni lah skrip yang dia tengok bila dia menanda. Sakit kepala tak? Awak tengok baru tak sampai 10 minit, 20 minit you dah sakit kepala kan? So this is a lesson for everyone juga. Jadi tulisan tu kita bagi tulis cantik-cantik, besar-besarkan sikit supaya senanglah pemeriksa tu nak tanda. Nak tengok pun senang, nak bagi markah pun senang. So that's a tips. Nak memenangi hati pemeriksa nanti kan, kalau tulis kecil sangat macam mana dia nak nampak kan. Okay, next. Organization, I love the attempt because even though, okay, kita tengok attempts in using linkers are likely one reason behind. Though some attempts are not successful, but we can see the attempt is there. So this is what we call, this is what we want to see in ada flow dekat situ. Dia punya flow dia cantik. And for the language, you use a basic vocabulary which is relevant to award day, trophy, medal, coupon, winners, and simple grammatical form with some degree of control. Some lah, ada sedikit dia membuat walaupun ada kesalahan tapi dia some degree of control. Okay, jadi walaupun maksudnya some degree of control ni maksudnya dia kesalahan dia ada tetapi you faham, dia tak mengganggu you macam tertanya benda nak khabar ni. Tak, you faham apa yang dia cuba sampaikan. So this is what we call classic writing of what we see from our students. Next. Okay, next one. Kau tengok patty dah masuk task 3 dah, ada daging burger dah ni. Okay, kat sini di hujung nampak ada finally, dia letak encouraging student, dia letak finally, start with finally. Okay, ini macam mana nak menggalakkan pelajar supaya win the award. Okay, ni I will say that when we read this thoroughly, bagus, we want to applaud the effort the writer attempted the task. Dia cuba menjawab soalan, however with some difficulty tu, with this difficulty the writer unsuccessful gitu. Dia attempted but maksudnya idea dia tak jelas. When we read the paragraph, finally the school authority can encourage students to win the awards. Is encouraging the students to sign up their names at the categories. Alamak, apa tu? Alamak, macam mana ni? Yang ni kan kita dah macam what is trying to say, dia faham ke tak? Mungkin pelajar tersebut, penulis ini agak keliru apa maksud encouraging. Jadi you know, you just jumble up the words, making sure that maybe like, you know, give it a try. Will it work or will it not work? So you know, just a gamble here. But we can see that the attempt is there tetapi tidak berjaya lah. But we want to applaud that kita suka bila pelajar attempt sebab kita nampak effort. When you do mistake, we know that there's a progress in your writing skill. Okay, and then we go for the organization. The attempt on using linkers finally in addition. Okay, kat sini dia guna linkers finally dengan in addition. Cumanya attempt tu ada, kata percubaan tu ada tapi agak tidak kurang berjaya sebab lepas dia letak finally, dia letak in addition. Macam, bukan in addition sebelum finally. Dekat situ nampak tak dia sedikit salah dekat situ lah. So see the attempt them. And in conclusion, ni lah roti akhir dah ni kan. Okay, conclusion nampak bagusnya di penulis ini dia mulakan dengan in conclusion. Dia start dengan situ dulu. Okay, all school parties need to collaborate together to make sure students encourage the school award. Encourage school award. So we can see that the writer has a problem in benda kau. Benda ni encourage ni ke apa? Dia tak tahu sangat. Dia tak sure kan maksud tu. Such as idiom, work your fingers to the bone. Work your fingers to the bone tu mesti bekerja keras. Okay, and then therefore we must cooperate to form excellent and successful student for our raise the name of our country and school. Hujung dia ni macam tidak kemas sedikit, agak longgar conclusion dia di situ. Again, communicative achievement, dia cuba berkomunikasi, communicate the writing, the article in concluding the article, communicate the concluding idea, but it's not really successful. Percubaan tu ada. Sebab dia cantiknya dimulai dengan in conclusion. Nampak tersusun dekat situ kan? An attempt on grammatical forms and drawing conclusion lah dekat situ. So idea pun agak kurang jelas kat sini. When we see like constant, repeated errors throughout the script, kita akan nampak dia kan sedikit sebanyak dia akan mengganggu juga communicative achievement. Sebabnya you have to like pause, think, reread again. So how about your attention? You lose your attention the moment you try to stop and understand what the writer trying to say. Jadi dia akan mempengaruhi markah CA dekat situ. Okay, jadi agak-agak berapa markah ya kita bagi dekat sini? Kalau content berapa? Tadi macam part 3 tu dia kurang sikit kan? Okay, and then communicative achievement berapa? Organisation berapa? Language berapa? Okay, so this is the mark yang kita bagi. Okay, dia tak dapat 5 dekat C content tu sebab dia ada masalah tu lah yang task ketiga tu. Communicative achievement walaupun dia dapat 2, kita nak applaud that the writer consistently makes attempt. Dia percubaan itu ada. Because the convention of writing an article ni generally apply throughout the essay, but it failed to hold the target reader's attention because of unclear idea. Sebab ada beberapa ayat yang agak kabur kan, yang kita tak faham, dia nak cakap apa ni? Yang benda ni jadi kat situ menjadikan markah dia agak rendah. And the organisation will give 3 marks because for a lot of attempts there, some of attempts are successful, some are not, and then that's why you got 3 marks. And language, okay, language ni dia dapat 2 sebab apa? Errors are noticeable throughout but generally does not impede the meaning, so there's some degree of control. Dia punya kesalahan tu adalah, and also this is the overall marks for the paper. So don't focus on the marks yet. I want you to focus on the process of you learning about the script. Okay, memang agak susah. Part 3 nak dapat markah 5 susah tau. Bukan senang-senang nak boleh bagi, terutamanya dari segi communicative achievement dan juga language tu. You can score well in content and organisation, but for CA and L it's a bit tricky. A lot of effort need to be done. Okay, ni kita tengok yang kedua pula, script yang kedua ya. Okay, so baik, kalau you ada soalan kan, you terus tulis tau, because I can't really see your face and I can't really see you. Jadi macam
Miss Ika, the thing is there are lots of questions, but the way you speak is so eloquent, lancar lagi, berseru. Jadi macam, we don't know how to,
Okay, let's stop.
So do you want to answer one question? Nak tanya tak? Satu, nak jawab
okay,
tak?
cuba jawab. Cuba.
Ambil yang paling dekat. Aisyah Asma, may I know the full mark for this essay? Allah, I tak buat revision ni. So what is the mark for this?
20 dia. 20.
20. Okay.
5 darab 4, kira sendiri.
And then think just one more before you go to your next one. What is that? Okay, there's this one, also Aisyah Asma. Start with definition. So what it is?
Dia macam ni for beginner writer lah. I call it. I tell my student ni macam selemah-lemah iman you. When you have problem in macam mana nak start teacher? I will say go for definition or whatever that you understand about the topic. So this is macam the basic one when you want to introduce a topic. You can talk about the importance. You can talk about, by writing a question. Why do the kind of question that when you are experienced writer, you will have a lot of different ways of introducing your topic. Contoh, you boleh start dengan soalan. Kadang-kadang you start dengan give a statement. Contoh, a statement from this minister. Awards day is everything about success story. Macam tu. So itu dia boleh start dengan quote tu and then dia boleh macam terangkan mengenai quote tu dan dia masuk dengan topik dia. So that's a strategy bila you nak mulakan introduction. Yang I bagi ni yang paling basic lah untuk mereka yang agak susah nak mulakan menulis.
Okay,
macam tu.
so you have one more time for one last question or you want to proceed to the next? One more question?
One more question?
Okay. So
Last.
Afif
Satu Kak Ran.
Aikal tanya, teacher nak tanya kalau tak ikut format macam tak letak tajuk artikel kena potong markah? Oh, better yet, kena potong berapa markah?
Allah, dia tak tengok gitu. Dia tak tengok gitu. Dia macam
there you go.
we give like overall, like, it would be nice. Artikel kena ada tajuk lah. Tapi kita tak kata lah, dia bukan macam dulu. You kena pisahkan pemahaman you daripada format lama dengan format baru. Okay, kita so kalau you tapi bila kita tulis artikel biasanya ada tajuk lah. Kita tak cakap ni memang dosa besar ni, salah. Kalau salah tulis tempat pun tak dapat markah, tak tulis nama tak dapat markah. No. It's just that an article basic we need to have a tajuk and then if you don't write your name then it is alright. Kalau you tak nama kat bawah pun written by contoh Nur Nabilah dekat bawah then that is okay. But article generally we have title. But we don't have ni markah 1 markah, ni 2 markah, tidak ya. Okay, can we proceed? Kita lama. Okay.
Okay, next one.
Kan. Nanti kita pass dekat Miss Mahiran. Madam Mahiran.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to the second script. Second script ni kan dia, okay, this is what we call, kita biasalah kita bermula dengan, very humble beginning and then we, continue and we develop, we become a better one. So this is a better script, Alhamdulillah. And then we are going to look at what makes this script a better than the previous one. Baik, let's start with this script. School Award Day by Nur Nabilah. So nampak tak? Dia simple je, tulis je gitu. Dah tahu dah itu artikel, boleh tulis lah. We don't want you to gamble, isn't it? We don't want you to, malah nak tulis. Kena tulis lah sebab kita tak tahu. This is a convention of writing an article, kena ada tajuk lah. Takkan, sebab dia bukannya open essay kan. Okay, we start with the introduction. I hope you can see the picture clearly. This is a better version than the previous one. But I love the way the writer starts the introduction. It starts with asking, this is very nice. I love this style of writing. Do you love to get award as a reward for yourself? There's a rhyme there and there is a question. This is nice because we know that this is an article posted on Facebook page. Which is so interesting. Orang tengok first ayat, orang rasa macam nak baca, menariknya. I'm sure you do. This is nice. The second sentence just, blow my mind. I'm very happy to read this article. I mean, I want to read more when I read this article. Every student loves to get awards, especially from their teacher. Okay, yang ni, okay, I akan terangkan satu ayat sebab I nak tengok macam mana you nampak dia punya flow of the introduction. And every student loves to get awards, especially from their teachers. As we all know, kan kita semua dah tahu, our school has just finished midterm examination recently. Hence, school should organize a school day award to celebrate those who score excellent grades in exam. It is time to read what they saw. I love how smooth this flow is. It's just very relaxed, straightforward idea. Dekat sini awak tak nampak kan dia guna macam bombastic, bunga-bunga ke apa. Tak, straightforward idea. Communicate the idea very well. So in the first glimpse, when we look at this script, the introduction, we know that, this writer has a total control of her writing. The tone there, we can see that dia mulakan dengan soalan and then she confirm, I'm sure you do. So it gets you thinking. It got the readers involved together with the process. Dia tak short sendiri tau. And then the process, the writer give moving on to to writing. Every student love to get award. Dia bagi reason lagi. Okay, dia bagi pandangan dia. And then as we all know, connect with that one, school has just finished midterm examination, which is so true because you just have finished your examination. And dia spesifikkan lagi, dia letak midterm. I rasa dia baru tambah. So nampak tak dia tak kecil kat situ kan? I just finished their examination recently, baru-baru ini. Hence, and what is nice about this ending, the way she ends the introduction is she put the word hence. Dia mengikat, it anchors the whole sentences that she has there. It totally, dia macam it's like you make it is a very good, it's a harmony combination, very harmony, I will say that the it anchors everything that she has talked about previously. Perkataan hence kat situ, dia pendek saja. Hence ini adalah bermaksud sama dengan so, tetapi dia tukar, dia style dia lain. Cikgu dia dah ajar lah ni kan, hence school should organize. This is very nice. I like the tone and straightforward ideas. This is what we call the writer managed to grab reader's attention. Tapi ni first part lah, kita tak tengok part seterusnya lagi. And then use of appropriate vocab for a word, and then there are some grammatical forms. They uses usage of some grammatical form in some degree of control. Okay, ada sedikit kesalahan lah, but we see that as slips, and then it's common mistake. It does not impede the reading. Next. Okay, the body. So you start with, you go to the tomatoes, and then we start with the first body paragraph. And, it's very simple, straightforward. First of all, she start with talking about the suitable prices. And the one that I have highlighted in green are the details that she has explained. Dia bagi, jadi dikenalkan, the awards to be given are going to be, okay, yang ni, going to be ni macam, tak macam you dah plan, sedangkan dia perlu cadangkan ini sedikit longgar, tetapi sepatutnya yang cantiknya macam the awards to be given to schools, I will perhaps school should give some should be conducted in few categories, or should be planned in few categories. Jadi kat sini dia nampak macam dia nak buat dah, sepatutnya dia mencadangkan. Going to be tu dia macam agak longgar sedikit, tapi tak apalah. We can see that she's introducing that the point there. For example, dia tuliskan for example dekat situ, it would be nice if she start with the school. School can introduce, ataupun the school committee should introduce some awards like blah blah blah. So I personally, this is based on this is what we see. For example tu macam kalau terus start tu dia macam tak comel sangat untuk CA. Jadi kalau boleh kita nak ada sedikit ayat yang macam menghubungkan, that links the idea tu. Okay, so some of the awards that school should introduce or should have in award day is best student, blah 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 blah. Jadi nampaklah dekat situ kesinambungannya kan. Bukan tu macam for example terkejut orang tu. Dia sedikit-sikit lah. Jadi this is the attempt kan. And then the writer give opinion, and then dia bagi opinion tu, the student become more competitive. Cuma dia agak longgar sedikit, where I mean in my opinion should be would become more competitive. I think it would be better kalau dia cakap so student would be by having this award, student would be more competitive. In my opinion tu dipatutnya macam digantikan, dia letak benda lain, dia tambah by having this award bla bla bla. Jadi nampak tak kesinambungan daripada satu ayat ke satu ayat, nampak comel sedikit lah gitu. And last but not least, there should be be an award for best class teacher. So very well developed. Give example, the opinion, and organization is well organized, and we can see that the noticeable variety use of cohesive devices first of all, last but not least also, and then kita nampak use of appropriate grammatical form for suggesting idea would become, there should be. Ni kita nak nampak, this is what we call indicating that you understand, that you are suggesting the school to have this kind of awards. So this is things that we look when we analyze the paragraph. Comel kat situ. And moving on to the next one, body 2, suitable prices. I love this writer. I mean, walaupun dia macam tak adalah macam very bombastic words semua, tetapi we see how effortless the essay is. This is so natural. I mean, she's not trying to impress the reader with bombastic some because she knows the writer knows the skill that she has, so she maximizes the full potential of what she has, the use of simple language, and then with minimal mistake, and the style of writing is nice. Look at how she start the body paragraph. What prizes are suitable for winners? This is so nice. Very simple. well, if this is, ni bukanlah penulisan terbaik seperti what we call the excellent writers, but we can see here this is how pelajar yang sederhana mampu menulis dengan baik dengan menggunakan ayat yang biasa, tetapi dia menjadi luar biasa sebabnya ianya diterjemahkan dengan cara yang begitu seni, begitu halus. The way she organize the thought is nice, so we can see the flow there. Dia nampak kat sini. Kat sini organisation dia buat organize sebab cohesive divisor and linkers dia letak to not to mention, to, even though, but. And when you look at the second sentence, if students are rewarded handsomely, they will be more motivated. Dia ada cause and effect. Kalau budak dapat hadiah, mesti dia orang suka. Nampak tak kat situ? So this writer, this is how we see the thought of a writer, analysing some issue, giving not just macam dia bagi tahu, tetapi dia bagi kebarangkalian, kemungkinan. Kalau sekolah buat, kan ramai anugerah macam ni, kan bagi hadiah yang best, mesti ramai lagi yang nak dapat, yang nak macam nak bekerja-kerja akan dapat hadiah. So this is nice. Cash prizes, trophies, medals, certificates and excellent prizes are excellent prizes. Ini dia tertinggal sikit, laju nak menuliskan dia tertinggal, and excellent prizes, this is nice, diguna adjective dengan bagus. Okay, not to mention, comma, students would love to win some dia tak kupon kat sini, vouchers tu. This is unique, macam penulis yang pertama tadi, the first writer dia guna gum, candies and coupon, and this student they should grab vouchers, which is the same idea but she elevates the idea grandiosely, like lagi bagus, lagi spesifik, dan kita rasa realistik. Ramai orang dah ada Grab, ramai orang dah ada Food Panda, so kita tahu kan Grab kita boleh hantar voucher kat kupon, kita boleh guna. So she has this knowledge, the background knowledge of the world, the modern world, the life that we live, the life that we live right at this moment. Why not just give the students some coupons, some vouchers or Shopee vouchers? So this is very nice. The creativity is there. And then you can see that some less common lexes, for language, the use of vocab, we can see the confidence of student using this. And the next one, ni dia sambung ke sebelah. This is what makes the school award day becomes meaningful to student. Even though the school have to spend a lot, but it's worth it. Dia justify, walaupun hadiah dia bagi tu macam, yang atas tu macam agak mahal, agak yang macam luar biasa dan banyak pakai duit, but they justify, it's worth it, berbaloi. That's a good phrase to use. That's a good justification to imply, to influence your idea to the school. So you are the writer is trying to influence the school to follow. Ikutlah, I punya cadangan ni bagus ni, walaupun mahal, berbaloi nanti. You know, I like do it. I can imagine it happening at our school. Who knows? Okay, the last one. Part 3, the body paragraph. Okay, encouraging the student. Okay, bagi kita tengok, saya undur sikit. Jadi task pertama dipenuhi dengan baik, task kedua dipenuhi dengan baik, cemerlang. I will say that very cemerlang, excellent. Dan task ketiga kita tengok macam mana dia buat. Adakah konsisten? Sebab pentingnya dalam penulisan, you kena tahu tau. You kena consistent. This is very difficult. You have to be consistent from the first paragraph sampailah hujung. Yang ni yang susah, yang pelajar nak maintain. The tone, the register, the style, the interest. Susah tau benda tu. Jadi macam mana nak dapat benda tu? Kena banyak practice. Gitulah, banyak baca. Okay, and then on the other hand, dia nampak dia nak kenalkan ayat baru, dia guna on the other hand. Bagus dia ni. School should always encourage students to win award at school. Okay, nampak dia direct tau. Always encourage student. Dia tambah always ni, bijak dia. Dia tambah always je. Yang lain tu dia ambil ayat dekat soalan kan. Word of wisdom or motivation from counselor. Oh, this is nice. Can help to encourage them too. Nampak tak? Dia terus masukkan watak siapa school authorities. It makes the article sound even more realistic dan dekat di hati. They know that this is how the school can encourage. Guna counselor. When you mention specific person, the specific occupation, the specific job that is related to the school, it is a big bonus because you know the system, you know the setting, you know how to manipulate that into producing a good writing. Word of wisdom, bagus diguna frasa tu kan. Dia tambah tu dekat sini pun boleh membantu mereka. This is, even though perkataan ni very short, but it's powerful because it gives an impact to the writing. It is mostly likely, dua-dua ni sedikit, it is most likely that students are not motivated because, dia bagi sebab, kenapa nak motivasi sangat? Mungkin dia orang tak bersemangat because they do not have much support. So school must support them. Nampak tak? Dia the tone, the register we can see, the communicative achievement that the writer has here. He managed to grab readers' attention with some of the words, with the suggestion, and then school must support. Counselor can help to encourage, and the organization is wonderful even. The idea is well planned. The use of cohesive devices, on the other hand, it is mostly likely, walaupun salah tapi we know grammar je kan kat situ kan, so we have to appreciate the effort there. So, or ada perkataan tu lagi. So this is nice, a very nice explanation, well done for this one, for task 3. Conclude, ni pendek, I suka. To conclude, students should strive hard for their success, be the best and beat the rest. I think this is some phrases that she heard somewhere, because we often have this, we haven't heard this, but she used it in her essay. Jadi, macam mana? Appropriately end the article. Sebab dia memang letak in conclusion, to conclude. Simple. And she used, the writer used the phrases, strive hard, impactful phrases, be the best, beat the rest. I don't know if this is something very common that students use nowadays, but I haven't heard it for so long. But this is a very short, nice way, clean way for you to end your conclusion. Nampak tak? Dia tak tambah apa-apa, dia tak masukkan isi apa-apa, dia tak tambahan. This is nice. This is what we want to see bagi pelajar yang sederhana. Okay, markah macam mana markah? Takkan satu je kan? 2, 3 berapa? Okay. Ta-da! Excellent 5, perfect score for content, communicative achievement. Sebab yang dia dapat 4 tu sebab kita tengok macam mana the convention she used the writing the article, and she takes into consideration that the article is published on social media page, which is on Facebook, school Facebook page. Jadi kita nampak the very casual, a bit casual, but the tone is still maintained, trying to, stay consistently in, the tone of neutral article format. Organisation 5, this is an excellent one about language. Language ni, dia sebab dia bukan yang kata dia teruk, but this is how we use when we notice some, not noticeable, when student have some degree of control. Nak dapat 3 ni, the writer should be able to use complex compound sentence. You have to display the accuracy in that. There should be a lot of attempts in using it, and it must be a lot of success in that. So bila nampak awak guna banyak ayat yang kompleks, you tak guna straightforward ideas, ayat you macam complex compound sentence, so that's how we use that should get you 3 mark. Tetapi dia banyak kesilapan juga kan, kita nampak longgar sikit kat situ, that's why you reduce the mark to 3. Itulah. Okay. Okay, yang ni sedikit lah. Yang ni yang I bagi sikit improvement. I hope that I don't spend much time. Sikit lagi. Okay, this is some of the improvement that I put in the writing. In this day and age ni kan, macam tak apa nak sesuaikan, jadi I terus tukar. School award day is all about amazing success story. Simple. Open kan. Tapi kan bila awak tengok macam cara I cadangkan bila you nak buat introduction, you mulakan dengan benda yang paling umum. Of course, award, anugerah, success stories. And then dia bagi kita develop lagi, enthusiastic students would look forward to this glorious celebration because this is the day where they would receive recognition for their outstanding performance at school. Ini dia explain in detail, 2 ayat je tapi kita panjang lah. Ini the suggested answer yang kita baiki daripada introduction dekat sini. Okay, kita bahagikan. Yang ni saya pecahkan karangan dia ni kepada 2 bahagian so that you can see a very clear introduction there. And then bawah tu terus masuk point task 1. Body paragraph, masuk burger, isi pertama tu. Nampak? Dia kan bila cakap pasal kategori, dia tak terus guna macam there should be some categories of award school should do for students. Contoh kan. Tetapi bila kita kata nak capai communicative achievement ni, inilah kata pengayaan bahasa, lenggok bahasa, seni bahasa awak. When you have to be creative. You want to engage the reader in hosting the event. Firstly, school should carefully plan the number of categories for the awards. Categories of award that can be given to SMKLB students are Perfect Attendance Award, Best Reading Award, Stellar Student Reward Awards and Best Classroom Award. Ni I ubah balik perkataan ni membandukan apa yang dia telah tulis. Gitu. Okay, dan bila kita dah bagi pasal contoh hadiah, kita bagi tahu explain lagi ni. I gunakan ayat dia, I baiki dan I tambah when we edit this make an improvement bagi kita nombor kali 5 kan. Student also can also cast their vote for some categories and the ones who get the highest vote will back home the award. Back home the award tu, yang tu kita ni the convention of the vocabulary you use, the less lexical. Kita maksudnya back home the award tu you bawa balik hadiah tu ke rumah. Okay, cast their votes, bukan but give vote, cast. So these are the vocab that we want to see there. Pada general kepada specific. Gitu. Macam tu. Kan seterusnya. Okay, yang ni pernah buat baik. Ini cadangan lah sebab kita nak bagi pelajar bagi dapat idea macam mana kita nak markah yang terbaik. I think this is what we call, sebab tu kita kena buat kesalahan. Kita buat essay kita sendiri, kita tengok ada kesalahan, kita baiki jadi lagi bagus. Jangan ambil karangan orang. Jangan tiru sebiji-sebiji daripada internet. Bahaya. Sebab one of the aim of we do this writing, kita nak tengok pelajar tu mampu tak menulis original idea dengan baik. Kita boleh baca tau. Okay, so I will not read everything in here, cumanya dalam penambahbaikan yang kita buat ni. On the other hand, I tiru yang the second essay tu. It is important to choose the right prices for winners. Right prices. This is a very good expression. And then school should select exciting prizes for the proud students in the school award day. Dia gitu. Dia main dengan adjective lah kat sini. And then would love to win. Would love to win. Nampak tak? Would love. Maksudnya dia membayangkan pelajar ni mesti suka kan dapat ada gini. Jadi kita nampak perkataan tu. Would love. Model verb kan. Would love to win fancy trophy, medals, hamper and some shopping vouchers even. Gitu. Personally, blah 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 blah. Ni I tiru ayat dan kita kemas kini ayat yang pelajar tu bagi kan. A reason behind it, blah blah blah. Okay, yang ni dia bagi reason, kita kemaskan reason yang dia bagi. Kalau ada trophy, boleh simpan kat rumah. And it will be a permanent reward to own as compared to winning hampers or coupon. Dia berbandingkan. Yang ni I suka bila you boleh membandingkan daripada semua hadiah, you bandingkan mana lagi bagus, ni baguslah. Itu adalah analisa yang bagus, pengamatan yang bagus. Finally, school authorities, especially teachers and counselors should encourage students to win awards by motivating them to put their best effort in academic or curriculum. Having strong support in the school setting will encourage them to do well in school. Gitu. So having strong support in the school setting will encourage them to do well in school. Gitu. So that's how this is sample how we can improve our essay, our own original essay. Jadi ini memang kena buat banyak kali. Bukan sekali buat terus dapat tau. You kena buat banyak kali, 3-4 kali percubaan. And ending this, there's some tips. You have how can we write better is just to read. Whatever expression that you remember, simpan, hafal, gunakan dengan baik. Remember the useful phrases. Ingat convention of writing is for you to communicate your idea. Tak kira lah tulis report ke, tulis artikel ke. And then you have to remember the tone and register in every essay. Kerana kalau artikel tu mesti macam mana nada dia. Macam mana kalau report nada dia macam mana. Kalau review nada dia macam mana. And then good control of language. Maksudnya awak kena practice tulis ayat. You have to read and you have to write. And basically practice with your original essay. Again, I want to reiterate, original essay. Don't copy from others. You want to get the idea, tak apa. Ambil frasa-frasa tak apa, tapi jangan tiru sebiji-sebiji. Okay, so I think that will end my session. So any questions? Anything that you want to ask?
Well, Aida Farhana want to ask you, do we need to put comma before and when listing something? Teacher Ika, what do you think? Miss Ika?
Why you want to put comma on end? I mean, when you want to illustrate example?
Sometimes when you list something, they like you, Aziz, and then comma, and Ali.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we see that in the sentence. So the comma before the end Is it
Mhm.
really necessary, or what do you think? Madam Mahiran, if you also want to interject anything?
Alamak, I tak dengar lah.
Tak dengar? Okay, sorry.
I'm breaking.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Cik
my
Mahiran,
line here?
I think so. Can you, Miss Nakia, Nurul Nakia, if you can,
Can
answer
you hear
that
me?
question.
Can you hear me? Am I done?
Yes.
Okay. Teacher Ika, you want to address the question or you want me to help to answer the question?
I think I'm quite breaking at this moment sebab I tak dengar
Okay.
suara you. What?
It's
Is
okay.
it my
You take
battery?
rest. You have, I think you have explained, presented everything in details for both teachers and students. We are just wowed by your, your sharing just now. So let me,
Am I
address
still
this little
there?
question. Yeah, you are still here.
Sorry, I tak dengar. No,
Okay,
because
okay.
I can't really listen. Sekejap, bukan I punya bateri I nak mati ke?
Oh no.
Okay. All right. So Aida Farhana, teacher, do we need to put comma before and when listing something? Thank you so much for the question, Aida Farhana. So this question will relate to L, okay, language. I think the purpose of putting comma, you have to know the function of the comma itself. What kind of purpose that you want to highlight in that sentence. So if you are listing, kata majmuk yang bersi noun, kata nama, kata nama majmuk, I think is in BM. I think compound nouns in English, then you wouldn't be needing any comma because it's the same idea, similar idea. However, if you want to use comma to connect, to link two different independent ideas, then yes, you would need to. I think in the story or in the report later, you would see how candidates will be able to use a different style of comma, whether to list compound nouns or to inculcate or to highlight different ideas in a single sentence. Kita tengok nanti, okay? I will bear this in mind, Aida, because I think in my sample ada satu contoh ayat di mana candidate menggunakan comma to introduce two different things, okay? But in the same sentence. Nanti kita tengok nanti. Okay, I hope that answers your question.
I hope so too, because that's a long one. Teacher, Madam Mahiran, you want to add on anything regarding the comma before the end?
Yes. Okay, what Miss Nurul Nakia mentioned just now is correct. Okay, two independent clauses ada maksud dia yang boleh berdiri sendiri sebagai ayat. Contoh dia, he is great. That is one. And then I admire him. That is another. Alright, so you can combine these two independent clauses menggunakan and tapi boleh letak comma sebelum and. Okay, for example, he is great, comma, and I admire him. Okay, tapi kalau ayat yang biasa yang compound dengan apa, kita guna apa, dependent clause dengan independent clause, kena guna and tu macam biasa, tak boleh letak comma. Nanti okay gini macam ni, I will type in the comment, okay, to show the sample. Okay, right, that's it.
Okay, so before that, Miss Nako, can you upload your slide for me to show?
Okay, I hope it's done.
Okay, it's there. Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Nurul. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And now, before we proceed with the next section report, are you guys all okay? I mean, over there, it has been like almost 2 hours now. So thank you so much, students, for staying with us. In the chat box, I could see a lot of comments, a lot of questions, popped out. So thank you so much. We are going to do our best to address the question. But if you think we might overlook one of your questions, do keep reminding us here in the chat box, okay? All right, thank you so much. And I think I would like to thank the first two panels, teacher Ija from Setiu as well as Chika, who had just presented on the part 2 guided writing as well as article on part 3, extended writing by Teacher Ika. Now, I think they both have covered a lot of aspects for C, CA, O, and L. And I will not be redundant over here, so I'll try to keep it precise for report, and where there is relevancy in terms of techniques, I'll make link it with the previous sections that you have just learned with the Teacher Ika and Teacher Ija just now. Okay, all right. So you should see on the screen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, let me put it on the full view. So today with me, we are going to delve and explore a little bit more report writing based on the MPP2 that all Terengganu SPM 2021 students, candidates just attempted. Okay, so the overview of the session would be that first we are going to look at the samples. There are 2 samples, and hopefully we have just enough time to look at the samples and thoroughly and discuss improvement for both of the essays. And we are going to look, explain and discuss the improvement based on C, CA, O, and L as well. Improvement, and of course there are tips. Now for backup plan, because my worry is that we don't have much time to go into bits of pieces for conventions of report writing. So I've also prepared QR code scanner, not the scanner from your phone, the QR codes, just in case you want to scan it from your phone right from this slide. Okay. Now, before we begin into report, before we review the questions that you attempted for report writing in the MPP2, I think it's best for us to kind of review balik, recap balik the different requirements for the part 1, part 2, part 3, because in the question, in the section box, the chat box, I noticed that there's some question revolving around let's less common let's whether are they necessary in part 3 sahaja ke part 1 ke part 2. Okay, students, by now, if you are sitting for SPM 2021 this year, you have to already remember or understand the requirements, the level, the difficulty of and difficulty for each part will differ. Now, I think most of you already know this, but let's me quickly recap this. For part 1, the level would be in A2 level. Okay, so it's quite rendah and informal. So you should be able to use contractions like Teacher Myron said. Okay, anything that can communicate informal ideas. Jangan gunakan formal vocab here. It will affect your CA. Now, part 2, guided writing. Now, the tone for guided writing is more to semi-formal towards formal. So it's moving away from informality tone from part 1. Okay, so some students, sometimes you transfer your knowledge, your CA to part 2 and part 3, which we would not quite recommend, because you have to understand that each part has different task requirement, and therefore the CA or the tone that and register needed would be specifically precise for that part only. Okay, so you kena baca soalan tu betul-betul, pastikan tone yang nak guna, baru you can plan the lexis that you want to adopt and adapt. Okay, and part 3 as well. Part 3 is very formal, especially report. Now, kalau you tengok this graph, you would see that that's why it's quite easy to score for part 1 in comparison to part 2 and part 3. And later you will notice that, oh teacher, tulis gini je ke? Dapat 3 je language untuk part 3? Yes. Okay, you shouldn't be, feeling demotivated if you score L3 or probably CA3 in part 3, because the level for part 3 is the highest, which is B2 to C1, CFR level. So 3 is equivalent to 5, band 5 in part 2. So you're doing great there. Okay, it's just a matter of improving a tiny bits of C, CA, O, and L, and we are going to look into that so that you are going to go up to 4 and eventually 5 with practices. Okay, all right. I hope it's clear on that. Okay, so again, I would like to highlight that this is band 5 we're looking at. So teacher letak kat screen sekarang ni, dalam slide ni, ialah band 5 requirement untuk report, article and story, as well as review. Ada 4 jenis kan. Okay, so keluar 3. So this one. So this one, if you notice, teacher hanya ambil band 5. And I think it's really important to clarify apa maksud yang dimaksudkan dengan fully informed. Okay, so C. Ramai yang kata C senang nak score, but eventually untuk part 3 dapat 3 saja. Kenapa? Okay, this is mainly or probably due to the fact that you might not address the task tu betul-betul apa yang dia nak. So kalau question nak reasons why YouTube channel content is are recommended, dia nak reasons kenapa channel akan popular, plural. So kalau you jawab satu, task tak kena tu. Nampak tadi? Disadvantages and advantages. Okay. So kalau a question minta plural or singular, pay attention to it in the rubric, in the question itself. That's why teacher Atika already mentioned tadi, kalau boleh ada highlighter macam ni. Okay, highlighter. So you highlightkan, contengkanlah, scribble your question. We love to see scribbled kind of exam papers written to us on exam, post exam days, because we would, scribbling means you are thinking. You were thinking, which is good. Okay, so you need to think and plan before you can fully write. Okay, so fully informed. Be careful, singular plural dalam rubrik. Jangan get too carried away with the question that you overlook this. It's very important. It will affect your C. Okay, and for your information, C paling senang nak score. Kalau you betul-betul address the task fulfillment, the task requirement, insyaAllah you can score. And you don't have to have an excellent exemplar linguistic competence to score this, because content dia separate, dia punya task completion tu separate sikit berbanding CAONL. Yang ni dia akan bergantung kepada linguistic competence you. Okay, so that's why kalau kelas remedial students, okay, my students kan, I always tell them, be confident, be sure on the task requirement. Jangan hilang markah dekat sini. Okay, so this is what we call fully informed, and this is kena ke tak kena dengan soalan tu. Okay. CA, okay, CA, this untuk dapat band 5, because tadi I think one question in the chat box was like, ada tak budak Terengganu dapat band 5 untuk semua CCAOL for part 3? Okay, I believe there are many excellent writers out there. It's just that for today's punya discussion, kita memang plan, memang aim to take not the good one, not the best one. Kita ambil more to good and average scripts, because we want to show you that how can you go about modifying, improving, and applying the techniques so that you can better improve your piece of writing in the future. Okay, all right. So, but I believe there are good writers out there. Okay, effectively hold target's reader attention. Now, this, if you are writing a review, article, report, and story, you have to make sure that CA untuk dapat 5, band 5, it should be able, your writing should be able to engage the target audience, examiner, or whoever is reading your piece of writing, and sustain that kind of attention. Okay, so we are like definitely engage with us. So macam best baca, dia punya flow tu, dia punya smoothness tu is there. There's no error on, or if there are slips, the slips will not affect the flow, the fluency of the AC at all. That is what we call by effectively hold. And there is a style inside there, ada style. So kita akan nampak untuk band 5 ni dia ada style. Kalau story tu, dia punya style tu ada one word style, silence. Akan nampak nanti ni your teacher, teacher Yus will explain this in detail for story. Okay, nanti kita tengok untuk report juga. Okay, communicate with ease, fulfilling all the communicative purposes. Okay, ingat the function of the kalau kita write untuk this new format, and any format actually, we want to communicate what we want to, we want to communicate ideas, right? We want to communicate information. So make sure that your CA is able to achieve this. So kalau you are writing a report, you should be able to report things, report findings of the survey. So jangan jadi macam artikel, nampak? Okay, so beza lah sebab tone dia dah beza to register. So kalau you review something, the tone of your writing, the CA should be able to review. At the end of a review, I would expect that I will get, I will get clear review of this item. For example, this one, kita ada highlighter, a good side of it, whether it's good or whether it's bad, why, and whether you recommend it. So that is to communicate. So I can buat decision based on your review. That is communicative. Okay, kalau tak sampai situ, not there yet. Okay, right. Now, okay, I want to highlight the good effect. A lot of candidates and even me myself sometimes, we tend to look kira-kira. Satu ada besides, ada in addition, ada furthermore, ada in conclusion. Okay, 4 banyak dah tu, plural dah tu teacher. Okay, so give me 5. Okay, alright, it's not that way. Okay, it doesn't work that way. We are going to look at the quality of your cohesive devices, your linkers, your connectors, how well they connect the ideas, sentences dalam ayat you berbanding dengan frekuensi. Kalau banyak tapi tak tepat, contohnya ramai yang selalu tertukar penggunaan nevertheless ataupun therefore. Kan? Tu untuk function dia apa? Okay, kena pasti balik. This one kalau you still confused atau tak confident dalam penggunaan cohesive devices atau linkers or connectors, teacher personally recommend you go back to the MIP module akram yang your teachers have shared with you guys. Ada dalam 109 muka surat, and there are special part, okay, untuk cohesive devices. Baca balik, kena pasti balik, buat latihan and apply balik. Okay, this take time tau. So it's okay kalau you perlu 2 bulan pun tak apa, asalkan nampak improvement tu. Okay, writing takes time. Okay, jangan rasa down sebab orang lain tulis sekali boleh belajar hari ni, esok boleh buat dah. I ni, me ni kukak lagi. Okay, it's okay. Okay, you are there. Okay, it's just a matter of, baby step at one time. Okay, tak apa. Alright, kita belajar belakang kan. Okay, language now. Bila you sebut part 5, teacher bimbang because part 5 it's very high tau. So language dia agak memang you have to make sure that your precision, your accuracy of the language form is all there. Okay, so and this one, okay, tadi ada soalan, perlu ke saya guna less common lexis? Untuk part 3, yes, it's in the success criteria or rubrics for the assessment band. Okay, assessment scale ada nanti. Dia ada item dia ni. Jadi kalau tak ada penggunaan dia banyak kepada everyday vocabulary, contohnya A2 words or B1 words, unfortunately we may not be able to tick that little band for scoring band 5. Jadi kena ada juga. Okay, kena ada pengolahan ayat yang less common lexis. Okay, a good control. Okay, look at the word flexibly. Okay, flexible is you are able to use these structures, passive structures, complex structures with ease. So maksudnya dia tak ada, dia boleh olah tu dengan smooth. Dia tak ada macam you kind of rehearsed kind of structure. Kita nampak beza dia nanti. Okay, so this flexible use, kita nampak this budak dia dah capai 3 or not yet 3, baru 2, baru 1, kenapa? Ataupun 5 bila dia be able to use it flexibly or not. Okay, alright, and then occasional errors ni untuk band 5 kita nak. Okay, right, now before we go into the question, teacher nak highlight sikit. I think my students already have seen this countless time, so minta maaf lah kepada pelajar teacher yang tengok webinar sekarang. Teacher tahu dia ulang benda sama je kan, tapi hopefully I would like to share this with other students as well. Hopefully you will find it useful. Ramai, so this is the tone, CA. Okay, so kalau report where you should land your tone in the timeline, in the tone timeline. So it's toward the formal degree of a piece of writing. Untuk part 2, it's over here. It's more like, ke arah sini jugalah. Okay, the semi-formal and towards leading there. Tapi untuk yang email, nampak tak? It's very informal. That's why penggunaan contractions are very much recommended for part 1, but not quite for part 3. Kalau boleh eja penuh to be safe for part 2 and part 3. Okay, I hope that's clear. Teacher Myra already explained this. Be careful not to include slangs in any parts. That's important. I think you have to know juga slang ni macam mana, contraction macam mana. Contraction macam yang Teacher Myra just explained, can't, right? Won't untuk emails, part 1. However, slangs are like wanna, gonna, ain't. Lyrical slangs tu, okay, that one memang tak boleh in any parts because that's more to lyrical slangs and then it's not proper use of English. Okay, kita sekarang tengah test proper use of English in writing conventions kan, jadi tak boleh guna yang tu lah, tapi contraction boleh untuk part 1. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now, this is the question. Students and teachers, if I'm going too fast, let me know. Okay, ni kau dah cakap ni dah perasan dah laju ke slow ke, let me know. Okay, now part 3. So this is the question. Let me just go through the question quickly so that we are going to identify the task. Okay, together. Right, your school has decided to start a YouTube channel for students. Okay, so sekolah awak nak buat keputusan ni. Kita zaman PDPR 4.0 ni, nanti 5.0, sekolah kita kena ada dah lah channel sendiri. Sebab budak memang belajar online, jadi kita molek, kita record teacher record and laptop kat channel ke apa kan. So dia nak buat that kind of idea. So your principal, so pengetua sekolah awak has asked you to carry out. So kata okay, Ali or Siti, why don't you carry out a survey and tanya pelajar apa content yang dia nak. Okay, what types of contents? Okay, you can nampak kat sini kan. Okay, preferred by your students in your report include. Okay, so here dia dah bagi dah apa yang you kena ada, bullet points, right? Like teacher Ika or Miss Ika have mentioned, these 3 bullet points, okay, teacher gunakan yang lain lah. Okay, these 3 bullet points you have to develop it into solid or nice paragraphs, okay, body paragraph. Nanti kita tengok nanti. And be careful with this. Kalau part 2 dia ada advantages and disadvantages, so plural, and here dia nak reason. So ada pelajar yang tersilap pandang, dia ingat reason satu saja tapi dia well develop. Sayang, okay, sayang dah tak betul-betul capai 5 lah untuk C. Kan, dia minor saja tu tapi it's just a matter of satu letter saja, alphabet saja. Tapi kita kena betul-betul tengok soalan tu. Alright. So this is task requirement C. And task 1 would be to touch on the educational program. So dia dah bagi bentuk apa yang dia nak. So educational program number 1. Number 2, entertainment. Task 2, so you kena cakap juga pasal content yang ada entertainment based untuk YouTube channel ni. Dan reasons why you rasa YouTube channel sekolah awak akan popular, akan famous, akan di subscribe ramai subscribers kan, likers semua tu. Okay, so kita tengok. So these are the needs. So kalau you nak transfer into this kind of ni teacher tulis balik tapi sama je sebenarnya. Okay, sama saja. Right, now conclusion. Now ramai yang confused juga ataupun tanya, teacher, kalau report ni ada conclusion tak? Wajib ke 5 paragraph? Okay, some candidate are so fixed with the quantity of paragraph that they should write for part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay, students, whether you should write 5, 6, 4, 3 paragraph perenggan, okay, I think you by now you should be able to know yang mana body contents, yang mana task tu. Okay, task tu you develop kepada satu perenggan. Sebab apa? Kita nak tengok you betul-betul capai task tu. How? Dengan elaboration, which is CA, and dengan whether you dah fulfill the task requirement, C. Nampak? So that one you develop into 1 paragraph. So kalau 3 kat sini, teacher recommend you develop 3 lah. Tapi tak wajib, I wouldn't say 5, kena wajib 5, aku buat 4 potong markah. No, we don't look at that way. Sebab dia punya pemarkahan is holistic. Okay? Tapi enough to understand that you should be able to give suffice elaborations or supporting details that will eventually enable you to fulfill the task, capai apa yang dia nak tu. So kalau dia kata educational programs, cakaplah dalam perenggan tu 2-3, gunakan WS question, Hamburger Technique yang teacher Ika just mentioned just now. Mungkin nanti kita tengok balik macam nak apply untuk report ya. Okay, conclusion. Now ini bergantung kepada question. What do you mean by conclusion here is you wrap up, you sum up the report. It's just a matter of saying in conclusion, principal should start ataupun should create YouTube channel soon because it's not like that. Okay, it's not just abrupt conclusions. This is report. Remember CA, kita nak communicate finding kita, survey yang kita dapat result tu kepada target audience, which is in this sense principal. Jadi apa yang principal kena buat next? So what? Okay, so conclusion dia akan jadi more to you, how you link, you sum up your findings and recommendation. Okay, kalau ada recommendation lah, kalau ada suggestion. Okay, so you link it together nicely in a formal way, polite manner to the target audience, to the principal in this sense. Faham Jadi tak perlu ada 5, wajib 5. No, it's you tengok pada soalan tu, apa soalan nak. Tu yang penting. Okay, so jangan fossilize dalam your mind, kalau buat part 3 je kena ada 5, 6. No, it's not that way. Kita tak tengok bilangan, kita tengok how you organize your essay tu. Fulfill the task, elaborate and capai all CCAONL. Okay, now this is sample number 1. Remember we are going to look at 2 samples. This one contoh number 1. Okay, I'm going to look at sample number 1 dulu. Ini kecil kan, I know, tapi teacher tunjuk dulu overview secara keseluruhan so you nampak lah berapa perenggan ada, macam mana dia organize. Okay, so in this essay, sample report 1, the candidate, kalau nampak secara kasar kan, you tengok kan, okay, nampak report lah, nampak report because ada title, ada, the way they organize. Kalau tengok secara kasar tanpa baca dulu secara, quick glimpse, you will nampak ni macam ada structure. Okay, the convention of writing, a piece of writing is there. Tapi kita tahu lagi report ke tak sebab kita tak baca lagi ayat dia kan. Okay, tengok tajuk. The survey result of content for the school's YouTube channel preferred by students. Oh, tajuk dia macam report. Okay, mungkin dia tulis report. Okay, betul kan? Okay, right, that's number 1 title. Again, like I want to highlight here, wajib ke tulis title teacher? Kalau tak tulis potong berapa markah? Okay, right. The question of penalizing candidates for missing a title or missing reported by, written by ke apa ke, we will not say precisely how many marks will be deducted. No, sebab kita tengok holistically punya assessment kan untuk CA. Kalau you letak title and dia membantu untuk mencapai fungsi report tersebut, that is good. It's good for CA. It's good for organisation as well. Kita nampak overview of report. Tetapi kalau you rasa macam contoh review ataupun apa lagi artikel ada kan. So kalau perlu ada, you rasa dia membantu, letak. Kan? Nanti report, it's quite helpful to have a, you know, clear tajuk, clear points that you want to say. So titles could be one of the apa tu criteria lah that you want to include in. Tapi kalau tertinggal, okay, it will not hilang 5 markah lah, tak ada macam tu. Okay, it will we are going to see the flow of your essay tu as a whole as we read it. Okay, tak ada specifically potong berapa markah. So kalau you rasa membantu, letak. Okay, tu bagus untuk CA. Right. Okay, abaikan yang merah-merah. It's just me and the teachers trying to, you know, assess the piece of writing. Okay, let's look at this. They are the introduction, okay, and then this essay have a, you know, it developed into 3 solid body paragraph from the 3 bullet points. Remember 3 bullet point ni okay, they develop, okay. So and then dia ada last perenggan in which I presume would be conclusion, and the way they wrap up the survey findings again, the report. Okay, so this one, right. Now, let's look at part by part. Okay, now I will go to C first. Okay, C first. Kita akan tengok the strengths of this essay. I think no matter whatever sample we have here, kita tengok pada good points. Sebab banyak yang kita boleh belajar daripada your piece of writing. Jangan rasa your writing tu dah okay. Ada je yang okay yang you boleh share actually kan. Kalau kita tengok nanti. So this one kita tengok dulu apa yang okay. So task 1. So kita tengok pada C dulu task fulfillment. Okay, untuk this perenggan. Okay, let me use different color. Okay, untuk this perenggan, kalau you nampak, okay, this is task 1 educational program. So, okay, this student, this candidate has successfully fulfill the task 1 by mentioning apa educational programs yang student nak dalam YouTube channel tersebut. Okay, let's read it together. Kita baca sepintas lalu lah. Okay, like, tengok Okay. Let's go with the ni dulu. The purpose of the report is to show the types of content that students preferred most. All the information is based on the feedback and recommendation from the students in our school. Now, perlu ke tulis berjela-jela kat introduction? Now, remember, this is report. Teacher, that's why teacher tekankan balik. Apa-apa you nak buat, apa-apa you nak plan, go back to the type of writing convention that you are attempting to. Jangan you ingat, kena tulis panjang sebab gini. Sebab ada teknik yang ajar gini. Yes, that is the technique, but you have to sesuaikan dengan report, dengan function dia lah, dengan tone tu. Jangan nanti you ingat semua kena panjang, semua kena ada supporting details yang melebar-lebar, yang berjela dekat introduction. No. So here, enough dia ada purpose which is clear, nampak apa function report tersebut, right, this piece of writing, and dia kata all the information is based on, so apa-apa yang dibincangkan dalam report ni dilaporkan adalah daripada feedback from students yang dah jadi respondents to the survey. Okay, good. Now, nanti kita tengok how can we better improve this, tambah sikit lagi untuk jadikan dia lagi formal. Ni dah ada dah ni, dia punya CA tu, tapi how can we better improve it nanti kita tengok nanti but this is already great dah. Bagi teacher, it's clear, it's objective, and it's impersonal. What I meant by impersonal is that this is dah ada nampak hawa-hawa tone report dah ni. Dia clear je, dia tak ada macam berjela-jela macam you know, factual sikit, tak. Dia dah kena tone, dia dah ada there. Okay, tapi ada we can better improve it. Now, let's look at number 2. task 1, the majority of students replied that they want a proper education. Tapi kita bagi educational programs on all subjects range from a short video containing a simple but important note to a detailed live streaming video with talented and experienced teachers. Now, if you look at baca sampai habis ni, sampai dekat with that students, this candidate has able to nampak tak dia punya keupayaan tu. What I really like about this paragraph is that the ability of the candidate to be able to fulfill the task and bagi supporting details terus in a very, how to say, with good ease. So dia boleh guna good control of language tu. Tapi kita nak cakap pasal C dulu kan, tapi nampak dia punya, dia bagi contoh programs, bukan saja banyak kan dia bagi kan, dia kata and the siapa kena bagi. So this is already Hamburger juga ni, dia ada who, siapa kena bagi, experienced teachers, talented teachers, what, short videos containing what, nampak detail live streaming, dia bagi contoh detail tu. Okay, so this is a good task untuk ni. Teacher highlight juga lah lalang kita kat slide ni, teacher highlight juga untuk CA. Okay, a good report. Kalau you nak write betul-betul on point punya report, the tone should be there kan. Okay, so how to use appropriate reporting phrases. Okay, kalau you berreport, teacher sangat-sangat recommend you guna phrases like a majority of students, 80% of participants, that kind of reporting. Sebab bila kita buat report, kita mesti ada dah carry out something in advance. So tugas kita nak melaporkan semula. So we will need to use past tense sometimes for reporting past verbs. And when report, dia ada certain phrases yang akan build that formal tone. Okay, in this sense, budak ni pelajar ni dah menggunakan the majority of students. Okay, that is great. This is great. Okay, this is plus point I would say. Teacher akan bagi, kalau ni marking manual kan, ni teacher tak kelak asuti ataupun star, dia boleh klik nanti. So this is good phrase. Strength of the paragraph untuk ni. So again, banyak lagi lah strength dia, iaitu dia punya elaboration tu kena dengan task requirement dia. Okay, tapi yang ni teacher nak highlight sebab so that you nampak untuk report kena ada macam ni untuk tone dia. Okay, right. And then I told you tadi how the candidate has able to kalau bahasa hipster flex kan, awak selalu guna flex ni pergi ke holiday flex. So ni dalam ni dia flex the ability to use simple and complex forms with good control. Okay, dia taklah perfect, okay, tapi good control. Nampak tu dia ada slips ada, okay, grammar error SVA ada, tapi ada good control. Ni typical band 3 punya criteria. Okay, right. Now this part, okay, next paragraph, there ada omission. Also a handful of students suggest that the channel should also have, saya guna laser, okay, a variety of videos for entertainment purposes. So now dia masuk task number 2. Okay, so task number 2, such as school marathon, Teachers' Day and Raya celebration, funny animation and acting short film. Maybe, okay, this is a bit of error, but yeah, kita faham. By the students could be a candidate for this purpose. Okay, kalau kita baca dalam laju, kita nampak dia nak cover. Okay, semua contoh yang diberi kat sini adalah ideal recommendation for entertainment. Okay, so tu masuk dia. Tapi kita teacher buat flow wavy sikit sebab there are better way to rephrase it. Okay, dia punya ni. So this is SVA error, tapi tak mengganggu meaning. Okay, but it's there, the error is there. Okay, omission, they are okay, kalau you nampak kat sini ada attempt. Kejap. Okay, let me go for highlighter. So far okay ke? I hope it's okay. Sorry teacher tak dapat dengan I hope it's okay. If there are questions from the floor, maybe one of the panel can chip in. Takut tak perasan because just now I tak tengok dah dia punya comments dekat chat box. Okay, there are also a handful of students. Okay, this one ada attempt to build the tone in terms of reporting phrases. Okay, dia nak cover ada banyak ni yang cover gini. Okay, cumanya yang kacau sikit dia punya tone is the error there. Okay, is the choice of words that handful. Mungkin handful is a bit informal. Maybe you can say there was also, or there is also a smaller groups of students. Okay, you can say that a few teams of students. Dia ada dia punya ni kan, how to say, dah mari pada perkataan tu. Grouping, not grouping. Okay, it doesn't come to my mind right now, but I come back to that term later when it comes. Dah sampai pending sikit, okay. Tapi faham maksud teacher ya. So this one comel attempt tapi ganggu sikit, kacau sikit, tak achieve betul-betul with good effect. Nampak kita nak dapat band 5 tapi kat sini bukan band 5 lagi sebab of the word handful. Here, teacher nak kata here penggunaan L, okay, kesalahan L dalam in term of lexis vocabulary telah mengganggu CA. Okay, so ramai yang ingat kita akan address CA, O and L separately. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. In fact, memang that is the way we holistically mark pun. Tapi you kena faham juga, this is under linguistic competence, which means paucity of errors, kelebatan kesalahan awak dalam L, iaitu SVA, model, sometimes to giving, kita lupa kan, tak perasan. And then what else? Tenses lagi, passive dah terbalik kan. So those things, kelebatan L tu akan mengganggu CA awak. Dia tak capai communicative purpose tu. Jadi you kena ingat juga, bear in mind, ramai yang tanya, teacher what are the tips to score untuk part 3? Okay, teacher rasa you fix your L. Fix your L, it will generally help CA, O and C as well eventually. Okay, so bukan nak kata dia L tu interdependent sangat, no, but dia ada pemakanan dia sendiri, but L tu akan mempengaruhi your coherence, your clarity of the AC ideas where you want to convey. So probably the first step that you can fix, if you want to, banyak step dia, tapi maybe one of the step that you want to, you perhaps want to try would be L. Go back to L, fix it so that whenever you want to convey your CA, it will be there. Dapat. Faham lalu, oh bagus dia ni. The majority of student blah 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 blah. Nampak kan? So sedap je tu. So that is how you minimize, okay, problems untuk capai CA. Okay, start dengan L. Right. So let's go back to the pen. Okay, so this is alamak, teacher guna kuning. Okay, this is part 2 and part 3 as well. So dah 30 minutes I set a timer just in case I go overboard with the time. Yes, saya.
You're doing great actually. Everybody saying, wow, this is all detail and everything. So, okay.
Okay ke? Okay, let me know tau kalau tak detail. I'm so worried my explanation is a bit ambiguous and vague, but thank you, Miss Nurul. Kalau ada question, let me know so that I can
so far, there's no question. Everything's good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, so let's just proceed. Okay, now task 3, reasons why the channel will be popular. Okay, if you read part 3, paragraph ni, saya guna pointers. Sorry manual sikit because suddenly my stylus pen decided to betray me. So don't believe in technology 100%. Glitches happen, okay? So this school YouTube channel has the potential to receive many views. Nampak? Okay, so this is topic sentence because one of the most top most top school in Malaysia. I like it. This is very great. This pelajar, this candidate, and I believe there are more outside. Pandai dia nampaklah dia sebenarnya dia punya L ni kalau dia betul-betul reread sebelum dia submit the paper ataupun sebelum exam bunyi kering, ambil masa dia hantar ke examiner, teacher rasa dia boleh capai band 5 atau band 4 ataupun tinggi lagi pada tu. Kalau dia 6 dia boleh capai. Okay? Sebabnya teacher perasan bila because tak ramai sorry apa ni sebab ni sorry, because kalau you perasan we are second language learner, right? Kita adalah bukan lahir-lahir cakap BI dah, mipi kot Terengganu dialect ni lagi. Jadi kita kena fahamlah kita punya kekangan is that kita kadang-kadang slips of tongue tu, slip of pens tu kan, kita tak perasan bila nak guna SVA kan. Tapi pelajar ni kalau dia perasan dia dah boleh as one of the most top schools, dia pandai tu, one of plural, one of the advantages, salah satu daripada. So this SVA punya error dia dah tak ada dah. Jadi when I first read it, the impression that got me was like, oh budak ni dah ada language dia. Cuma it's just a matter of perfecting it by practices over and over. Okay, you are there. Whoever, I don't know who this person is and I believe there are more out there. Be confident, you have it, you got it in you. It's just a matter of practicing. That's why your teachers almost bagi essay berulang kali sebab kita nak practice ni supaya you capai accuracy tu. Kita nak fluency and accuracy both. Okay, so nampak ni, well done this is good. So tapi nak buat ayat macam ni, salah satu daripada advantages, salah satu daripada disadvantages ataupun banyak terdapat pelbagai kelebihan kan IBM. So you boleh kata there are many plural nouns, okay? Or you can say one of the most plural. Ramai akan buat singular kat sini. Tu typical error. Tapi this candidate dah berjaya buat ni. So which is good. Okay, we can earn views from not just, okay, the way the student structure pun dah complex idea sikit dah, okay, from not just our students but students from other school as well, because they surely will not leave the chance to learn from the best teachers and students. Nampak? Ni kalau betul-betul baca ni, oh hebat je ni, oh ganas tak je ni, you tulis senafah je kan. Okay, this is another way of doing it, but kalau you nak chunk it into few sentences, you can, definitely you can. Okay, boleh guna active, boleh guna passive sentences, boleh guna to, you know, structures differently. Tapi dari candidate dia nak guna, dia dah guna apa, complex ideas in a complex structure, dia dah word that way, which is good. Okay, this is another way of doing it, but there are other alternative as well. Jangan rasa macam you have to write this way, lepas tu pressure. No, okay. Atas kesesuaian awak lah, atas kemahiran awak, and you can change it interchangeably. Asalkan kena dengan tone report. Okay, right. And last kali, therefore, I recommend that we continue with this idea for the school YouTube channel, the survey. Okay. Okay, the survey has shown that the channel will, okay, ni kita cuba omission kenapa? Okay, the findings of the survey, but is optional. The survey has shown that the channel will have many supports and will be welcome. Okay, passive is by not just our students but all others as well. Okay, abaikan R tu, just slip tersilap baca. Okay, alright, so many supports ni. Kalau you baca sekali imbas macam grammar error, but it could also mean that many supports from different parties. Mak ayah support PIBG, student support candidate form 4 contohnya, ataupun teacher support, so many parties. So this one dia akan tengok pada konteks awak nak cakap. SVA ni dia based on context that you're saying. So sometimes it can be singular in that sense when you are referring it as a unit, or it can be plural when you are referring it to different subgroups. Okay, so this one under SVA. Don't worry, cikgu awak, your teacher, your examiner will not penalize you semberono. Maksudnya kita akan baca, fahamkan konteks awak, baru kita judge whether this is slips or SVA error. And kalau kita nampak macam ni, abaikan garis tu. Okay, so many have many support, so it can be understood as well that this candidate is referring to many parties that they are supporting. Okay, YouTube channel ni, which is good. Okay, now nampak tak komen teacher? Excellent link between the findings and the recommendation. Now, teacher, wajib ke bagi recommendation or bagi suggestion? Okay, basically untuk report you stick to the question asked, okay, in the question. Jadi kalau dia tak minta, basically dia akan link juga in a way kan, dia akan link juga simultaneous. Tapi kalau dia kata, okay, kalau you nak buat, okay, dia akan tunjuk this one sebelum kita pergi pada ni, dia akan tunjuk this one. This is another sample. Ramai yang tanya, teacher boleh tak kita buat gini? Okay, you can and you could, not like you should. Apa ni, I'm playing with the model. But I mean is that ada banyak alternatif untuk write report. So teacher tak nak you ingat kena tulis gini je. Okay, this is one way and this is another way. Sebab kalau you tengok badan English download, sampai ada buku teks nanti you boleh flip to chapter 7, page 92 to 93. This is another structure ataupun overview of a report that that the textbook suggests us. So I think it's applicable as well. And I do recommend my students to use this kind of subheadings to organize their own report as well. As long as it's a report, the tone is there, the register is there. Okay, so this is another type that you can use. Tapi pastikan walaupun dia ada subheading, jangan rasa, oh ni report lagi ni. Lepas tu bila teacher baca perenggan pertama, dah jadi macam artikel dah. Nampak tak? Tu tak tally tu. So that's not quite good. So jangan guna surface overview sahaja report. Macam gini lah. You beli, apa tu? Beli kek. Beli kek nampak comel dari luar. Lepas tu tiba-tiba dalam kosong kan. Kena scam. So jangan scam examiner awak. Okay? Jangan scam your teachers by giving forced register for report. So kita don't worry, your examiner will not be scammed. We are going to read through your sentences by sentences, okay? Sentence by sentence. So takkan di scam lah, awak yang akan scam nanti. Okay, so jangan ingat, be careful when you want to use subheading. Be sure that register is and the tone of the report, formal report tu, is sustained throughout. So kita akan tengok macam mana. Now, introduction, educational programs, learning, okay dah ada ni. And okay, now how to, kalau nak buat subheading, kita nak reka ke teacher benda ni? Are we going to reka this or are we going to take it from somewhere? Okay, I would recommend you tak payah reka lah. Kita sebab banyak masa lagi awak nak guna untuk planning kan, untuk check lagi. So be smart when writing your essay. That's why kena plan. So tengok balik question awak kan. So this could be your subheading. This could be your subheading. Kalau you rasa yang nombor 3 ni panjang sangat, macam tak subheading dah, dia macam jadi tak special dah, tak effect, tak ada effect that kind of subheading, because subheading ni dia kena precise, dia bagi gist, dia bagi summary of the paragraph content that you want to talk about. Jadi kalau panjang sangat, dia tak ada CA dah kat situ. Dia dah lari dah, dia punya keberkesanan dia tu, dia tak special dah. Okay, so you might want to say reasons. Okay, reasons, pendekkan saja. Okay, reasons reasons why they, sorry apa dia cakap tadi? Dia lari dah tak sah. Okay, so this one you pendekkan saja. Okay, reasons ke apa ke, boleh saja. Alright, so this one boleh ambil dari question sahaja, tak payah reka. Okay, kalau dia kata nak recommendation tu adalah, kalau tak nak tu adalah reasons. Okay, and you don't have to write conclusion macam tadi kan, sebab dia cakap apa kan, conclusion tu could be in here juga, ataupun could be in another paragraph when you want to sum up. Tak ada masalah. So this depends on the way you organize your report tu. Tak ada fixed way saya tak nak awak ingat report kena ada separate conclusion nak katakan ni. No, you can link it with the point yang last tu. Tak ada masalah. Di atas cara you olah tu. Okay, asalkan you fulfill the task requirement. Right, so let's look at here. Introduction. Okay, teacher, sorry kalau lama sikit, but yeah. Don't worry, I will go through this and then improvement nanti teacher akan laju sikit ya. So, introduction. Mana dah laser pointer? Okay, let's look at here. The purpose of this report is to start a YouTube channel for students. It is based on 15 videos, a survey conducted. This is understood, the omission kat sini understood the survey was conducted. This is good, okay, abaikan the omission. The survey was conducted actually, tapi kalau you nak buat ayat omission or omitted punya partikel tu boleh juga, okay, or on last Friday 27th August 2021. Okay, so here berbanding dengan tadi, dia dah bagi a bit of detail kepada introduction dia. Kalau tadi dia bagi purpose and dia cover, okay, ini adalah daripada recommendation daripada pelajar yang nak content apa untuk YouTube channel. Tapi on this sample, the candidate has able to, plan ataupun write the introduction differently. That's why saya kata dia tak ada cara tetap untuk buat report ni. So awak asalkan nada tu formal. Nampak? So here pelajar ni bagus sebab dia dia tambah sikit. Sebab dia kata, kalau pengetua baca report saya ni, report pasal survey saya buat ni, survey NBM is bancian, right? So bancian saya buat ni mesti pengetua nak tahu bila saya buat, berapa orang yang jawab. Kalau seorang bukan report kan, bukan survey kan, nampak tak? So dia pun tulis lah, okay, dia khabar report ni dijalankan pada Friday, tarikh dia berapa tarikh. Okay, maybe lah there is a bit of irrelevancy kat sini juga, iaitu to start YouTube channel. Nampak tak? Penggunaan here, itu kita cakap tadi, L. Penggunaan let's use here, sama ada mungkin pelajar ni dia tak mari perkataan yang sesuai, ataupun dia simply salah faham task, ataupun dia mungkin kekangan vocab tu. Kan dia tak ada vocab yang agak cukup untuk dia kena bubuh kat sini, therefore dia guna start, yang menjadikan task dia tak fully fulfill. Dia dah jadi lain dah purpose dia. Okay, purpose dia kata tadi, dia nak benda, mana teacher punya start tadi? Okay, dia kata to carry out untuk banci penggunaan jenis konten yang budak nak, tapi bukan untuk start tau. So kat sini dia dah lari yang sikit Sekejap teacher pergi balik. Alamak, sorry. Okay. Kan, bukan nak start tau, dia nak mereport saja, melaporkan findings tu. So dia dah lari dah task requirement dia. So therefore here is a clear evidence of minor irrelevancy. Dia dah ada salah faham kat situ sikit. Okay, so yang ni kita boleh elakkan dengan fahami, by highlighting, by properly digesting the task requirement. That's why nampak senang sini, tapi kalau you cuai, habis makan awak, nampak? Okay, so tapi baguslah attempt dia nak buat tambah details of the report tu ada, which is good. Nampak tak dia punya strengths and improvement kat situ kita boleh buat. Okay, educational program, okay, dia cerita the educational programs is, okay, grammar error here, SVA tak kena, students bullying prevention programs. Okay, dia ni this sentence dia a bit agak distorted sikit sebab mungkin dia nak cover contoh pertama ialah students bullying program, tapi dia punya grammar error tu agak mengganggu dia punya meaning kat sini. Communicative punya meaning tu tak mencapai sangat. Okay? Our bullying prevention program bla bla bla. Okay, kalau you baca kat sini dia ada guna bisat lah. They can help to gain awareness and become more resilient. Spelling error. Okay, tapi spelling error kat sini dia tak ganggu fluency, tapi kita faham je, cuma this is what we call as less attempt to use less less common lexis Okay, dia ada tapi salah. So kita tak kira lah. Dia ada attempt tapi tak mencapai, tak kira. Sama juga dengan cohesive devices. Ada attempt tak tepat, tak guna dengan betul, tak kira. Bukan tak kira macam mana, macam tak efektif lah. Tak penggunaan tu, tak memberikan impact lah pada your writing. There's no effect to it, therefore it will not contribute to scores. Okay, faham Okay, so here kalau you perasan, kalau you baca awal-awal, the idea here could be that the hypothesis that I got once I read it is probably that you, the candidate or other students, it could happen to any students, probably have not referred lah, maybe you adopt ideas from other sources, therefore the ni. Tapi okay, whenever like teacher Ika said, it's okay to read from other sources. Malahan teacher pun kalau teacher belajar, right? Memang teacher refer pada other sources. But kita nak dapatkan idea, kita nak develop kita punya, you know, content for the whole essay. Kalau kita buat essay, kita buat apa kan. Jadi kita nak tengok how best can we organize it, how best can we describe ataupun explain our points. So kita tengok contoh yang baik, betul tak? Kan? So which normal, if you are doing this and you have been doing this, that is so fine. Keep it. Sebab teacher galakkan awak baca good samples. However, when it comes to adopting or using the idea into your own writing, a good student, ni yang kita bezakan ni, sama ada awak boleh lift intelligently ataupun you lift as it is kepada your own writing. Okay, a good student to get band 5, okay, to get band 5 untuk report, untuk artikel, untuk review, untuk story, you should be able to lift the phrases yang awak suka tu into your own context, into your own style. Okay, yang ni memerlukan practice. It comes with practice, okay? Jadi kalau macam ni perlu olah lagi supaya dia nampak your own idea, nampak awak punya idea dan adopt and adapt. Okay? Alright, so kalau takut bukan apa. Kalau kita ingat macam, dia takut kan, bimbang, takut nanti awak ingat, okay, untuk format baru ni saya boleh hafal je lah. Saya boleh tengok YouTube ke, Google Translate. Google Translate is very dangerous guys because it's robot. Google Translate doesn't have soul like you do. It doesn't cry tau kalau awak poke dia dengan pin. Dia tak ada soul. Therefore, dia punya implied meaning tu kalau dia translate tu memang dia translate sungguh-sungguh. I'm feeling blue. Saya biru hari ini. Nangislah teacher awak nanti. Okay? So be careful that. So dia tak ada soul dekat situ. So jangan guna sangat. Nak guna boleh but be careful, okay? Kalau you perlu, you gunalah tapi jangan betul-betul copy paste daripada Google Translate, bahaya. So ingat, be able, if you want to get band 5, you want to get solid, excellent score for writing part 2, part 3, part 1 ke, do not lift as it is. Adopt and adapt. Okay, adopt and adapt into your own context, then you can be able to merge it and jadi your own original piece of writing, which is good. Itu yang kita nak tengok tu. Itu yang kita nak tengok. Okay, sebab kita we have to acknowledge that zaman PDPR ni memang kita akan refer pada online sources a lot. Jadi adakah anda, if you are listening to this, are you a type of student who are able to use the source intelligently and use it, apply that piece of writing, or you memang ambil sesuai as it is? Kita nak yang number 1 tadi. Tu untuk good so you kena practice lagi. Alright. So this one as well. Teacher nak banyak sebab okay, cuba tengok the channel popular. Okay, yang ni grammar error sikit. Okay, be careful. The dangerous part kalau nak guna subheading is kalau you tak careful, you main bubuh je, tajuk subheading ni dia akan nampak terang-tang-tang. What I mean by terang-tang-tang is that ginilah, dia macam you throw sampah, you throw rubbish tanpa awak lihat dengan you throw rubbish bila ada perhimpunan rasmi. Awak berdiri awak throw. Memang sasar lah orang nampak kan. So bahaya tu je lah. Dia akan jadi obvious sangat. Jadi here nampak tak? Dia obvious sikit lah sebab dia dari subheading. Bila subheading kan dia duduk atas gitu kan. Dia macam more visible. Exposure is there because examiner or your target reader will read that one as a key point untuk fahamkan your content tu. Jadi pastikan betul. Grammatical wise, make sure it's accurate. Okay. Okay, lagi ada a little bit of irrelevancy juga kat sini sebenarnya. Okay, kalau baca balik dia faham So I would recommend that blah 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 blah. Okay, dia tak, this one agak loose kat sini recommendation dia, the way the link, sebab teacher rasa you should a good report should be able to end it with a a very polite and general kind of tone, impersonal. So here dia macam okay, I hope this channel will be popular because I want to, dia macam agak vague kat situ. Dia tak mencapai, dia tak communicate lagi fully tu. Nampak tak? Tak kena lagi tu. So kita boleh improve lagi. But it's good attempt. Okay, it's good attempt anyway. Nampaklah awak dah pandai tutup. You can you will give suggestion. Dah hawa-hawa lah tu, tapi kita kena ikat lagi. Better rephrase it using passive sentence and structures untuk tambah improve untuk CA Okay, I hope that's clear. Minta maaf panjang sangat. Alright, so let's go to, okay, I'm gonna go very very fast. So berapa markah nak bagi untuk yang okay, before we go to markah, this is the commentary. Kalau you are watching this from your phone, you can screenshot this so that you can digest it later. Sebab kita nak pergi pada story pula lepas ni, teacher tak nak nanti you focus more on report sampai tak sempat masa untuk story. Story is equally important as well sebab ramai yang suka buat cerita. Kita kan hidup kita drama, right? So suka lah tulis drama ni kan. Okay, right, so commentary here nampak yang merah ni ada improvement. So I already nampak conventional report tu ada sebab dia guna subheading, appropriate introduction. Attempt sudah ada. Okay, however, how can we better improve it? Reporting tone is not there yet. Kita kena develop lagi, and there are minor irrelevancies as well sebab task tu dia tak betul-betul kena lagi. Okay, and then paragraph appropriately organized, simple connectors. Nampak dia guna simple connectors here and limited number of cohesive devices. Ini adalah ciri-ciri band berapa? Tengok balik. Okay, students, okay, I know your teachers when they mark your essay, dia akan ada band criteria pemakahan skema tu. I always encourage my students dekat my school, kalau betul-betul you nak capai band 5, tepek. Dengar dia pakai tepek kan? Tepek dekat your bedroom ke apa ke, dekat dinding study you ke, band 5 punya part 1, part 2, part 3. Tepek situ. So every time you do email, every time you do guided writing, every time you do extended writing, story ke apa ke, okay, you akan tengok, I have to do this. Dalam my essay baru akan capai band 5. So remind yourself over and over. Okay, kita kena, because humans are forgetful. Me myself pun, teacher selalu lupa, semua lupa nak check your essay lah kan, nak get back to you. So sama juga kita. So always remind yourself. Reminding, knowing the success criteria for part 1, part 2, part 3 will be the key that you probably ever need to score for this paper. Okay, so it's just a matter of knowing what you should include, knowing how to develop your CCAONL, and you get that, insyaAllah you are on the right track. With practices over time, you will be there. Okay, tu je nak khabar. Okay, panjang pula. Okay, this is the mark. Alright, this is the mark. Okay, so kita buat comparison sikit. Bukanlah compare macam mana, teacher bubuh dalam table so you nampak. Okay, untuk sample 1 tadi, the score for C is 5 because dia betul-betul address fully. Okay. However, if you look at the CAONL, the CA is not yet fully, precise for formal register. Okay, boleh improve lagi. So dia dapat 3. Dia dah communicate dah tu. Dia dapat hawa-hawa dah tu. Straightforward, appropriately, yes. Okay, tapi akan ada boleh lagi improve dah. Okay, organization. Kalau you nampak untuk candidate number 1 tadi, sample number 1, budak dia dah ada language tu. Dia dah pandai tau. Dia dah boleh olah with the good control of accuracy. However, mungkin kalau ayah teacher rasa kalau dia buat lagi sekali ataupun dia improve ni, confirm dia akan capai tinggi lagi sebab mungkin dia tak cukup masa ke ataupun dia overlook this. Ni kalau nak minimize the problem of not knowing, tepek tadi. Tepek boleh nampak apa yang kena ada untuk band 3, band 5 ataupun band 1. Okay, tengok band 5. Kita capai letak paling tinggi so that kalau kita tak capai, kita, we can achieve a band lower. Nampak Okay, so dia more to simple connectors. Tapi dia punya complex structures is okay. Tapi okay dia, ingat nak dapat band 5 tinggi tau. Dia ada flexibility tu. Tapi tak capai lagi flexible, dia dah masih band 3. Sorry, language je. Band 3 ya. Alright, so a good range of, nampak good derivation cover tadi and complex grammatical form. Nampak dia attempt dia tu structure, dia ada errors yang ada tadi, SVA error, dia tak mengganggu communication. Okay, dia tak mengganggu communication. Dia still message tu di-convey lagi. Tapi tak kena lah, macam boleh improve lah what that it means. Okay, report number 2. Okay, kalau kita tengok dia dapat 3 kat sini because of the minor irrelevances. Dia menulis, yes, okay, we are not going to award your mark based on how long you write. Kalau you tulis 5 muka surat untuk part 3, your teacher are not going to give you 5 for content. Kalau tak kena dengan task dia minta, 0 could be. And it's okay to get 0 untuk part 3 because 0 doesn't mean that you didn't write or you do not write. It means that you have yet to achieve that minimum band for band 1 untuk C, CA, ONL. Jadi jangan rasa kalau awak tulis 2 muka surat, tiba-tiba kan cikgu awak bagi kosong C. Sebabnya awak salah tafsir soalan tu. Tas tak kena. Tas minta gini, awak bagi gini, lain sikit lah. So dia ada memang lagi banyak juga, so dapat kosong. Awak pun down. Malah gini buat SBI kan. Tulis banyak-banyak bukan dapat markah pun. Okay, actually bukan kosong tu bukan tak bagus. Bagus cara you menulis, effort tu ada. It's just that tak kena dengan apa yang dia nak. So kenakan dia. Talikan dia. Okay? Alright. So number 1, okay, produces. Nampak tak? 1 is produces the text. So here, kalau you nampak number CA yang kat sini, dia communicate. Communicate dia dah capai tu, communicative tu dia dah ada. Tapi kat sini, yang number 1, kalau you tengok tadi baca secara laju-laju, this essay, okay, this one, sorry, this way kalau baca laju, dia more to article sikit pun ada, factual sikit, dia tak, tone tu tak ada, jadi dia tak fully communicate the register of report. The report tone tu is not there. Dia tak communicate sangat. Okay, convey the convey how to say, the message is not fully conveyed communicatively in a form of report. Faham konsep teacher? That's why dia produces the text. Dia boleh tulis, dia boleh produce, tapi dia tak convey. Nampak communicate tu. That's band number 1. So kalau tone lari, it's probably somewhere there lah. Number 1 juga. Okay. Right, so panjang lah teacher ni. Teacher takut masa last part dah. Okay, so faham Okay, you screenshot je. Right, this is how you can the other ways of you can write introduction. Okay, dia tak wajib tau this one. Okay, teacher tak adalah kata wajib kena buat gini. No, this is other way. Kalau you nak try letak details ada, kalau kata tak ada idea sangat, boleh ingat survey conducted. Siapa yang bila dia dijalankan. Tapi be careful. When you are reporting, it should be past tense tau. Ingat, bila you report past events, past tense verb. The survey was conducted. The survey was administered. The survey was carried out. Okay, jangan pastikan tu. Kalau awak guna the survey is carried out, sayangnya lah. Passive tu dah ada, tapi L pula salah. Okay, time reference salah. So be careful on that. Kena fix tu. Remember, L will affect eventually CAO and L. CAO and CANO especially. Okay, sayang kita tak nak hilang markah kat situ. So be careful and reread your essays every time you finish it. Tapi kita kan dah penat mikir buat ayat, letak nota takhir, sadaqallahul azim, tutup buku apa kan. That's what happened, right? So remind ourselves to baca balik. Spend about 5 minutes to read it. Then you will notice that tadi tak perasan ada. Okay, because now you are focusing on checking errors. Okay, alright. So ni example B2. Okay, ramai yang tanya teacher apa lagi perkataan objektif, boleh guna aim, boleh guna objektif, boleh guna purpose, sama maksud. Jangan buat gini the purpose / aim pop kepala lagi. Okay, choose one only, right? Report is to describe. Okay, now tadi kalau you nampak the candidate used to show survey apa tadi? To show kan. So remember this candidate dia capai 3 dekat CA, 4. Okay. So kita baiki penggunaan leksis dia. Kita tukar describe findings. Kita improve sikit, naikkan level dia supaya dia boleh tinggikan dekat L dengan CA. Pada survey ni ambil dari soalan saja. Okay. Ni sekolah mana teacher tahu, teacher ambil je. Ni contohlah was administered. Okay. Here teacher gunakan vocab yang less common leksis sikit lah nak bagi awak nampak. Okay. Dia tak semestinya you use this one, but this is cadangan sajalah. Okay. To describe findings. So this is bila ramai yang tanya teacher, selain apa cara lain nak sebut dapatan survey, dapatan bancian, findings of the survey. Okay, you can say that. Ataupun the students suggested, boleh guna term tu, suggested, reported, agreed, disagreed, recommended. Those are the reporting verbs that you need to know and you should be able to use it. Okay, alright. Online, kau nak buat online, okay. Okay, be able to use Nampak? Bukan for. Okay, ramai yang confused di antara to dengan for. Preposition. Check balik yang mana satu nak guna. Okay. Based on the responses gathered, the results were analysed. Okay, past tense but you reporting and are discussed as follow. Okay, yang ni tadi ada soalan pasal thesis statement kan. Okay, thesis statement. Yang ni kita cuba reka lah sikit untuk nampakkan thesis statement dia. Okay, ni thesis statement. Okay, ni pun dah kira dah kau dah ada good. Or you can say mana tadi? Ni pun kalau you nak buat macam betul-betul subheading punya form tu boleh kata the result were analysed and are discussed in 3 parts. ABC. ABC tu dia punya contoh lah. So this is your thesis statement yang very clear outline of your report. Okay, but it doesn't have to be, teacher tak nak cakap tau, ni cara you buat report. I don't want to say that because there's no fixed way of doing report. As long as you achieve the communicative the purpose tu, you should be able to, you know, score. Tapi takut awak nanya nanti, okay, kira tu dah gini. No, it's not, there's no such thing. Ni suggestion sahaja. Okay, so look at the tone here. Okay, look at the sound. Kalau you baca perenggan ni, does it sound like article? Does it sound like a review? Kalau tak lain daripada review and article and dia macam report betul-betul kau lah report, then you have achieved your CA. You have achieved the communicative purposes of the report. Nampak kalau you rasa macam hawa-hawa facts tu, tak kena lagi tu. Tak bukan band 5 lagi. Okay, so teacher laju-laju sikit. Improving C, A, O and L. So kau nak guna hamburger atau menari-nari dah hamburger dia tu. Okay, dah pukul berapa di 12 lapar dah kita. Alright, so I'm so sorry taking so much time here. You can screenshot this. I've shared with my students as well. So teacher guna subheading, but you can also use style yang tadi yang candidate one use, no problem. Now look at the way the sentences are structured here. Yang nampak formal. Now ramai yang tanya, kena nak tulis formal teacher supaya nampak macam mereport. Okay, so you can use this phrase juga. When asked, apabila dia tanya, 80% daripada pelajar bersetuju yang okay, so that's gaya report, right? So you can use when asked. Okay, tapi jangan guna when are asking. Sia-sia awak punya usaha nak buat formal tone tu. Okay, so be very accurate, be precise and know that the tone will definitely link to accuracy of your L lah. Okay, so when asked, guna proper style tu. Okay, you boleh guna percentage. Okay, bila you buat report, okay, kalau you go back, kalau you Google lah, what is report? Most of the findings that you will find on Google will lead you to the scientific ataupun some sort of data. Jadi teacher rasalah, me personally, but I think we can consult other panels as well, but I think personally kalau you includekan nombor sikit, alamak bunyi dah lagi, alamak you sorry you includekan nombor sikit, you includekan fakta sikit, dapatan berapa orang setuju berapa orang tak setuju, it will build up that formal tone of reports tu. Okay, so mungkin you boleh try. Kan nampak kan? Okay, tapi kena try lah and then olah betul-betul. Okay, as most student bla bla bla. Okay, yang pink ni adalah dia mesti Okay, and then teacher bagi hamburger juga. Sorry I couldn't properly buat macam teacher Ika sebab teacher tak cukup masa kat sini, but you nampak tak the way I try to put hamburger tu. Bila hamburger kita guna the question, and then here I also used teacher also guna, nampak tak teacher try nak bubuh. Sebab tadi O kan, kalau pasal O tadi kita tak capai O band 5, right? Now dia tak adalah perfect band 5, but I was trying to structure the paragraph ni in a way that nampak function of different cohesive devices and different structure tu, nampak Others, however, nampak? This is how you can alternate dia punya penggunaan cohesive devices. Sebab some tak nampak tau macam mana nak guna opposite, contrasting ideas macam mana in a similar paragraph. Remember, for you to be able to score band 5 cohesive devices, you should be able to use a variety of cohesive devices appropriately, okay, with good effect. And what we meant by a variety is it doesn't only focus solely on introducing new ideas. No. So kalau you guna banyak in addition, moreover, besides firstly, secondly, tu baru sejenis, and that's not variety. Limited number, yes, that is. However, kalau you nak betul-betul score band 5 untuk O, pastikan you pandai alternate dengan to introduce new ideas, to give example, to emphasize, to reiterate. Tu baru betul pengolahan cohesive devices yang band 5. Nampak function, kita pergi pada function, capai function tu, and they are all must be used appropriately. Kalau salah, tak guna juga. Okay, so kena guna dengan, so this can be practice. Okay, right. Dia laju sikit Okay, ni jadi sampel number 1, tapi dah sampel 1 kan dapat L3 kan. Okay, kita tengok macam mana kita boleh improve. So teacher guna Lexis, less common Lexis juga kat sini. Nampak tak teacher include here a majority of respondent preferred. Okay, so supplement ni this is example punya ayat tau, but I know sometimes bila kita menulis tak adalah buat ayat macam ni, but you know, remember when we keep reading good samples, idea tu akan marilah lama-lama kan. Supplement syllabus we are currently nampak penggunaan. Nampak? This is what we meant by using good structures, simple and complex structures with ease. Okay, with ease means dia boleh interchangeably switch daripada simple past, simple present, pergi perfect sekejap, pergi ni. So that is what we call a good with ease. Nampak? Dia tak ada, dia pandai lah dia dah tu that's typical band 4-5 tu. Okay, a group of form 4 suggested. Nampak? Suggested. Okay, suggested, recommended, agreed, disagreed, reported, observed. It was observed that a group of students agreed to nampak? So gunakan tu impersonal tone incorporate. Okay, this is good Lexis yang agak tinggi. Okay, mana lagi? Yearly marathon. Nanti saya ambil idea je. Okay, comical animation. Terus edit sikit. So kat sini dia buat funny animation. So kita tambah sikit. Kita upgrade the word funny from B1 to A2 to B2 to C1. Comical animation. Short films. Okay, short films by the students. Saya upgrade kepada choreographed by students. Nampak? So choreograph C1 word. Okay, but this is high level, yes. But kalau you nak capai band 5, these are the kind of Lexis that you should try to attempt and use it appropriately. Okay, alright. So ideal choice, a good candidate. So kita tukar pada an ideal choice for. Okay, kita harap sampai message tu. I'm so sorry if my explanations and sharing did not fully, help you for report writing. But I hope it somehow it benefits you. And teacher laju-laju je. Okay, teacher ni pun dah cakap tadi. Okay, this is reporting verb. Okay, you can screenshot this. This is online je ni. Teacher ambil online saja. Resource daripada online. And okay, this one you can screenshot juga yang ni. Yang ni penting juga. Bukan penting apa sebab teacher tahu masalah teacher ni, I like to mengarut, membebel sampai masa tak tengok. So I know, so I've prepared this two links for you to access after for a post revision from this workshop. Okay, so you can use it for your ni seminggu cuti ni, kalau ada masa sebelum tidur kan klik je lah kan, and then you can use it. Nanti I will share it in the link dalam bentuk chatbot juga lepas dicabil ni untuk masuk story. Okay, so I hope that is all. Ada lagi tapi nantilah takut kacau masa orang. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope I've done justice to the report writing. My apologies if my explanation is lacking in any way. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much.
Waalaikumsalam.
Back to you, Miss Nurul.
Yes, but wait, let me add on the friends, including Kak Maheran.
Yeah.
It's Lady Maheran ya, not Sir Maheran. Madam Maheran, can you try to unmute? Yeah, there you go.
Daniel Paul said patutnya 2 jam. Yeah, I know. We know. It has been
We've got too much to share actually. But so far it's okay. Let Miss Wan Yusnita go on with her part.
Okay, while we wait for Wan Yusnita to upload her slides, why don't we try to get any of the question? I guess this is one. Taki Wong. So mesti tulis seperti muat paper 4 ke penulisan yang matang?
So, I ada jawab dah kat bawah tu.
Mana?
Yes, especially reports and articles. Yes, you have to write the same way you write muat paper. I don't know which paper. I'm not used to the latest formats of muat, but it's penulisan matang. Betul, you are right. Kena ada general statements in the introduction. When you write a report like Miss Nurul Nakia mentioned just now, kena kalau ada statistik sikit, nampak real, nampak it's like you are writing a real report. Okay, macam tu lah. Okay, now I think Wan Yusnita, Madam Miss Wan Yusnita is ready. Okay.
Alright. can you unmute Miss One Yusnita? Okay. So
Yeah.
your turn now. Good luck, dear
Okay.
lady.
Thank you very much, Nurul. Boleh dengar bang sekarang?
Yes, but why not we just proceed considering
Okay.
it is online.
Takut bang tu menjejaskan je. Okay. So nampak the slide?
Yes.
Okay, so basically I'm going to do question 5, story, very quickly. Okay, I'm going to actually try to finish everything in 20 minutes. Okay, so question 5 is one option in part 3. Okay, so I would like to go back to what we have asked in your MPP2, which is this question. Okay, so you need to write an essay for a writing competition using the words, the lines given, and then the bulleted form are actually the requirement for you to actually write the story. Okay, so what I can see here, okay, there are going to be 3 tasks. Okay, task 1 is the starting line that you need to use in your essay. In your story, you have to include the unexpected event and also the lessons learned. Okay, so this is going to be task 2 and 3. And you can actually consider this as your plot or storyline as well. So different to writing report, review, as well as an article, okay, that will be having a different kind of format where you need to have the introduction, body, and also conclusion in a way shown by Ika and also Nako just now, where you can actually use the hamburger technique. Okay, so you need to focus on every single paragraph of what are the content point that you need to talk about. Different with writing story, you have to understand writing a plot or sequence of events is different comparatively to writing a report. So it's going to be having a different way in order for you to reach the ending of the story. Okay? So this is very important. Task 1, task 2, and task 3. Okay, this is also explained by Naku in her slide. This is going to really affect your content and also your CA. And it's going to be really what we call it, highly interrelated to your language as well. Okay, so my focus today is we are going to compare 2 slides, 2 samples, sorry. And then also we are going to touch on the ways to improve your writing. Okay. So sample 1, okay. Sample 1, I'm not going to go through each paragraph, but what I want to highlight here is whenever you write a story, you have to put it in a way to describe a scene, a moment, a situation. Okay, so the starting line is given there. So this person or this student has actually identified and fulfill the first task, which is using the lines given to start off the essay. And along the way, okay, the person has actually talked about his plans, what he's doing there, and what the thing planned with his friends and stuff. So everything was described, okay. But along the way as well, you can see a lot of red marks here and there. So this one indicates the language error. So language error definitely is going to affect your language mark, okay. And from paragraph 1 until paragraph 3, there's no mention of task 2 yet. Okay. And then in the next page, we can see that there's a mention of unexpected event, which is one of the requirements of the question. So the student has actually fulfilled the second task. And still there are errors. Okay, so this is about it. Sample 1 is only 2 pages of story consisting of task 1 and 2 without task 3. So you have to bear in mind, this is what happened in sample 1 with a lot of language error. Okay. Then we go to sample 2. Okay, sample 2, okay, is a bit blurry, but I do hope you can actually see. Okay, it's longer, lebih panjang, okay. Then the student actually managed to write okay, if you can see that in sample 1, the errors are denser. Here it's clearer. Okay, error dia pun very simple. Okay, here 1, 2, and 3. Compared to the first one, ada banyak error in each line. So it's actually showing ataupun giving a hint to the examiner, okay, what level you are in already. Walaupun kita baru baca first and second paragraph. And the student in sample 2 also managed to fulfill the first task, which is the starting line of the essay. Okay. And then we move on to the next paragraph, the 2 paragraphs. Okay. In the 4th paragraph, the student has actually fulfilled task 2, which is the person has talk about in detail of the unexpected event. Okay, so clearly from these 2 paragraphs, okay, although you can see that this one is longer, but you can see that this one is actually in a form of what we call that, it's not a script, tapi kalau you baca cerita ni sebenarnya this one is actually recording. Okay, so ditulis recording tu dalam satu paragraph. Okay, so di recording from the cassette, so ditulis kat sini. And you can see that in these 2 paragraph as well, tak ada error sangat. Dan tak ada sebenarnya error. Okay, and then the last paragraph is where the student has actually talked about task 3, which is the lesson learned from the event. Okay, so basically, sample 2, the student has managed to fulfill all the tasks and the language is a lot better. Okay, that is kita tengok secara kasar lah. Okay, and kita tengok errors dia pun berbeza. Cara dia jawab dan describe everything pun berbeza. Ada yang tanya, penting tak panjang atau pendek? Penting tak kita apply the rule of the number of words? Boleh tak kita exceed the limit? Okay, Teacher Ija ada mention that one. Tapi in terms of story, sometimes in order for us to go and reach the intended plot, kita boleh tulis panjang sikit lah. Tapi in terms of writing it sampai dia divert from the purpose ataupun the task itself, that is going to be dangerous. Sebab dia dah divert daripada apa yang sepatutnya you ceritakan. Okay? So you have to be careful as well. Bila kita panjang pendek ni, you have to understand, have you actually fulfilled the task needed? Okay, jangan kita fikir, oh tak nak tulis pendek, nak tulis panjang, ambitious, tapi tak capai objektif penulisan ataupun bullet yang diminta dalam soalan. So be careful with that as well. So bear in mind, sample 1 only fulfilled 2 tasks. Task 1 and 2 tak ada lesson. But sample 2, semua task is fulfilled. Okay? Okay. Then we go and look at the comparison between sample 1 and 2 based on the assessment scale. Okay. Luckily, Teacher Naku dah highlight all of that in her what we call session. So it is, I do hope towards the end you boleh nampak kenapa dan kenapa benda tu berlaku. Kenapa dia boleh dapat markah macam ni, kenapa orang ni boleh dapat markah macam ni. There's a difference there. Okay. If you look at secara kasar tadi, kalau kita nampak, bila error tu terlalu banyak, definitely is going to affect your language. Okay. And you know, for every single assessment scale, markah penuh dia ialah 5 ataupun the perfect score would be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carries different what we call that annotation to it. Dia ada kita punya cara kita memberi markah kepada pelajar tu berdasarkan, it's not just holistic, apa yang dia boleh capai. Okay, so what if you can be perfect in that particular skill, then we can give you perfect 5 marks. Okay, so when we look at sample 1, when the student has actually omitted one task, which is very important, okay, it affects the content marks definitely. Compared to sample 2, bila semua content tu not just relevant, but also manage to inform the reader fully. So this one, in sample 2, dia akan dapat full mark 5, but in sample 1, sebab dia omit one task, dia cuma dapat 3 markah. Okay, when we talk about CA, this is very true when we talk about CA and how it relates to language. Okay, walaupun kita tengok basically separately, but your language is going to affect how we actually understand and see your story, see your writing and understand. Okay, so this is very important. So it's actually interrelated. Okay, you can see that sample 1, okay, the student has actually used straightforward ideas. I go here, I go there, we walk here, we sit here at the table, we eat here at the cafe. But in sample 2, the writing mechanics is a bit different. Okay, although it is not excellent, tapi dia ada what we call that interest. Okay, there, making it smooth and the plot is clearer compared to sample 1. So that's why sample 1 got 2 marks and sample 2 got only 3 marks. Why? Walaupun errors tak banyak, tapi it's not descriptive enough. Okay. And then in terms of organization, sama juga. Although both have actually used cohesive devices, but sample 2 cohesive devices is used with some good effect compared to sample 1. Okay, kalau you baca later, kalau kita boleh share these slides later on, you can see that in the sample, most of it are thrown inside the essay, right? Excessive use of connectors sebenarnya pun tak bagus sebenarnya. Right, you have to understand that it's not just a matter for you to throw everything in that you know. It has to be put inside with purpose and effect. Okay, and in terms of language, we can see that later in the sample 1, basic vocabulary are used, and then you can see the errors. There's a lot of errors there, but still we can understand what the student is trying to say. So, dia tak akan sampai 1 lah ataupun kosong tu macam tak ada sense at all. Alright, but the student managed to get 2 marks for language over 5. And sample 2, the students got 4 marks because the grammatical control is good, vocabulary is varied, and what's lacking for the student not to get 5 marks because there's less ataupun tak ada narrative language. Itu je beza dia. Okay, so far I do hope it's clear. Okay, we straight away go to improving. Okay, when we talk about improving, I do think that you have to understand this skill by skill. Okay, so untuk C apa you kena achieve, CA apa, organization apa, and language apa. Okay, but basically as what Nako said just now, dia kata if you improve your language, it's going to be really helpful for other parts as well. Right? It's really helpful sebenarnya. Okay, make it simple tapi it's clear and understandable. Itu dah banyak memberi kesan pada pemarkahan secara keseluruhan. Okay, when we talk about content, it's not just a matter of you fulfilling all the tasks. That is very important. Satu benda ialah katakanlah there's 3 bullets there tapi you miss out 1. Definitely grade dia akan diturunkan, okay? Ataupun you actually use everything tapi 1 point tu you just touch it je tapi tak ada explanation. It's going to affect as well. So be careful. Okay? This is really helpful for you to score 5 marks. Just make sure you are actually answering every bullet given to you. Itu yang penting to get 5 marks. Untuk CA, when we talk about story is different. It's not like report, it's not like article or review. Sangat berbeza sebenarnya. Dia ada skill dia sendiri. Kalau you suka baca buku, novel, cerita, there's a way or a style of a writing. It's not the same as writing an email. Okay, when teacher Mahiran say email, you boleh guna what we call that informal language. Digalakkan lagi because email should be, orang kata, it's not formal, it's something informal. You talk to friends, you talk to anyone close to you. Tapi tak semestinya benda tu formal. But when we talk about report, mestilah dia punya tone tu formal. Okay, report ke, speech ke, review ke, whatsoever, those are formal things. Okay, but when we talk about story dia ada cara dia. Dia ada bunga-bunga bahasa that you have to understand. Okay, bila you baca buku novel bahasa Melayu pun, kalau kita cakap, kita pernah dengar orang kata, kalau tak percaya, ambillah kapak, belahlah dada. In literally speaking, you cannot do that in real life. Tapi itulah gaya bahasa puitis atau dramatik in a story that you should actually use. Barulah nampak benda tu sebenarnya narrative. Okay, you should use descriptive words or phrases, idiomatic expressions ataupun proverbs yang macam Kak Ran sebut tadi. And then sometimes it's better off if you learn all this narrative language to actually use in your essay to show that you are actually writing a narrative. Itu baru beza dia. Tone dia ataupun style dia tu baru kita faham, oh, this is actually a narrative. It's not a report. Dia ada beza dia sebenarnya. Okay? And when we talk about organisation, this one is actually introduced to you in PT3 as well. Lama dah kita dah give this input to you. Masa you form 3 dulu pun kita dah bagi all this. You should remember what is simple connectors and what is sophisticated connectors. Okay, usually apa itu simple connectors? Dia pendek-pendek je biasanya. Okay, and sophisticated, nama pun sophisticated, dia lebih complicated. Sometimes it consists of 3 words, 4 words pun ada. Ataupun 1 words tapi ejaan dia panjang. Itu panggilnya sophisticated. And it's not just throwing everything in your essay. When we talk about organisation, it has a purpose, one thing. It should give effect. Okay. And what you have to understand is function dia kena betul. Itu yang penting. Sometimes you throw in sophisticated connectors, but it is not correct. Tak sesuai langsung di situ. Right? You nak add information and suddenly you put however. So that is wrong sebenarnya. So you have to bear in mind, walaupun all these words are small, but it gives a big effect to what are you trying to say. And paragraphing is one thing. Narrative, cara paragraphing dia berbeza sebenarnya compared to writing, report, review and everything. Okay, kalau you guna Hamburger Technique tu, satu paragraph mungkin untuk satu content, tapi untuk narrative, cara dia berbeza sedikit. Okay, because it follows the plot ataupun sequence of writing a narrative. Dia ada beza, ada rising action and whatsoever. Itu panjang pula cerita dia nanti, tapi kita tak nak cakap lah. Kita nak you faham the paragraphing is a bit different compared to writing a report and stuff. Okay, and then last one is language. Okay, when we talk about language, vocabulary ni kena ada kepelbagaian. Tak boleh guna satu perkataan. I always test my student this way. In one word, katalah kita throw out one word to kids. Okay, I give katalah run. How many other words that you can actually use that has the same meaning with run? If you cannot think of like more than 3, maksudnya your vocabulary tu sebenarnya lemah. So you kena improve. Rajin-rajinlah baca and tengok synonyms ke yang bersesuaian, because you need to vary your vocabulary. And grammar is very important. This is very, very important because this is the base. Okay, the base of writing. It's like tajwid sebenarnya. Kalau salah baca tajwid memang salah lah kalau baca Al-Quran kan. So grammar is like that. Dia punya kepentingan tu. Right? And tenses is very important because when you write a story, basically the story is something that happened. Okay, so it should be in past tense. Okay? And in terms of sentence structure, I do believe that if you are only using one type of sentence structure, contohnya simple all the way, you cannot reach 5 marks. Okay, that is what I been told. Right? So you be careful. Kalau boleh, try lah juga guna compound and also complex structure in a way in your essay. Alright? And narrative language, okay, later on I'll show to you what is narrative language because this is different. You cannot use narrative language in a report, but you can use it freely here where appropriate. Okay? Okay, samples of narrative language. Kalau dalam bahasa Melayu, kalau kita tengok baca novel bahasa Melayu, kita akan nampak hatiku gembira melihat sinar matahari jauh di celah-celah bukit. Contoh. Alright, kita tak beritahu saya nampak matahari. That's like layman's term lah. Itu cara kita cakap biasa-biasa. Tapi bila kita cakap pasal narrative language, dia mesti ada drama to it. Okay, dia mesti ada orang kata apa tu, orang kata cara kita emphasize the what we call that, the moment, the situation tu mesti berlebih-lebihan. Itulah sebenarnya penulisan naratif ni. Okay, for example, kita tak cakap panic saja, tapi kita cakap panic started to engulf him, menelan dia. Tu contohnya, right? Or the sun shone brilliantly and the water in the pond glittered invitingly. Bukannya kita kata, oh, the pond is beautiful. So that's like really lame. Tapi compared to narrative language, dia mestilah dramatic. Okay? Or screams and loud cries pierce the air. Kalau you baca dah you faham maksud pierce tu macam menyucuk gitu kan. Tapi here, pierce maksudnya memecah keheningan tu. Kuatnya sebenarnya bunyi bising tu. Nak gambarkan betapa dramatiknya keadaan tu masa tu. Or thunder, roar and lightning flash across the sky. Okay, this one is to show. But kita nak menggambarkan bila orang baca cerita kita, orang tu boleh gambarkan, wow, this is scary. This is scary, this is actually frightening. This is, kalau happy sangat. Okay, jump with joy, skip a beat. My heart skip a beat when I see him. Okay, tu maksudnya macam mana your heart tu boleh skip a beat. Tak boleh berhenti, or something like that. Right? And okay, this is one sample. One sample, what if, katakanlah kita boleh change actually. It's not that it's bad, tapi kita boleh improvise. This is what we talk about improvising. Okay, for example here, okay, that's second line. Okay, second line starting with as Adam heard it, he was shocked and then he was frightened. Tak salah, benda tu tak salah. Kita faham, konteks ni kita faham sangat apa yang you try to actually say. Dia takut dan terkejut. But you can actually change it into a narrative language sebab kita sedang menulis cerita. Kita nak benda tu biar dramatik, biar best. Orang baca pun macam wow. Okay, orang boleh mengalami. Okay, benda tu. So you can actually change it. As Adam heard it, he was shocked and a cold shiver ran down his spine. Okay, that is a narrative language in context of your essay. Tu ada beza dia. So nampak, penggunaan tu is going to actually improve your essay and actually give you a better marks in terms of language and also CA sebab that's the correct tone, that's the correct writing, the correct style of writing narrative. Okay? Top 20 minutes. And I do hope kalau ada soalan nanti boleh ditanyalah selepas ni. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was very fast and furious. Thank you so much for your explanation for the last part. Let me add Kak Maheran as well. Atika, give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, let me add on Atika. Okay, so we are at the end of our channel. So this is the part where we discuss. Anything? Any last questions or
okay.
anything?
Miss Nurul, sikit dia, maybe 1 minute saja. Okay, because I need to respond to somebody who asked about comma. Miss Nurul Nakia has already explained, tapi dengan laju mungkin orang tak dapat tangkap. So I nak tunjuk sikit je, boleh tak? Can I?
If you can share, I can bring it up, upload it.
Sekejap je, sebab ada catat sikit lah. Biar dia nampak. Laju je, I buat 1 minit je.
Tak apa. But thank you. You guys has been, very, very fast, and especially the 252 viewers who stick to us from beginning to end. I also like to thank you guys for, being here. Don't forget to subscribe and like button, like Nurul Nakia said.
Like.
The like button at the bottom. Okay, Teacher Maheran, we're still waiting.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking. So, entire screen. Okay, kejap.
You're going to show Microsoft Word, is it?
All right. Microsoft Word. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Alright, okay. So sikit je pasal comma tadi ya. Ada seorang tu dia tanya, boleh tak guna comma sebelum N? Okay. So macam ni. I believe in good spelling, grammar, comma and punctuation. This is American. I believe in good spelling, comma, grammar, no comma and punctuation. This is British. And we are following the British English. Alright, as simple as that. Alright, next, sikit je lagi. Okay, two independent clauses. When we combine two independent clauses, okay, independent clauses maksud dia klausa yang boleh berdiri sendiri sebagai satu ayat. Macam ni, contoh, the first one, he is great. The second one, I admire him. So dua-dua ni independent clauses. Kalau kita asing-asing dia boleh berdiri sendiri. And for this kind of combination, we can use the comma before N. So this is correct. He is great, comma, and I admire him. Because there are two independent clauses kat sini and sini. So boleh pakai comma kat sini, okay. Yang tak boleh pakai yang macam ni, ni grammar jadi salah. One independent clause, one dependent clause. Okay, this is independent, this is dependent. You tak boleh cakap and works hard. Tak ada subjek, tak ada apa. So dia jadi dependent, bergantung kepada yang satu lagi. Jadi untuk ini he is great, comma, and works hard is wrong. Alright, so you can rewatch this later and banyak lagi you boleh Google. You can Google it. Alright, thank you. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Puan Mahiran. Okay then, I guess any other from the panel you want to say something, anything before we adjourn for today? Wow, it's almost 3.5 hours.
It's almost
I
3
know,
hours.
right?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry to the students and teachers. We really surpass the time limit. Memang terlebih-lebih dah ni. Ni kalau kena babysitter ni kena bayar berapa ni? Ratus ringgit dah ni. Lebih banyak sangat ni.
Dia kalau dapat mic.
But I hope you apologies lah on our part. Ni my part tu memang laju betul So sorry, nanti you can revisit this link lagi insyaAllah. Thank you so much and apologies for any inconvenience and shortcomings.
Okay, with that I also from JPN Terengganu would like to thank our panels for your dedication and your hard work and everything. For the viewers outside, again, if you have burning questions, I guess you can just reach out to your fellow teachers and have PLC discussing, because again this kind of thing is good, when we have a sharing session and everything. So with that, we all give thumbs up. Everybody, thumbs up. Everybody, thumbs up. Okay, goodbye. See you later. Bye.
Bye.